Oh, sounds are happening. What the heck? Are we live? It looks like we are live. Hello, everybody. I'm Technovoid. It's pretty cool how I'm Technovoid. I'm here back with more XG, and we will hopefully. I'm a hold off on starting this just for a minute. Oh, because we got a very special guest today. Hello there, Stars. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine. Yeah, let me actually go ahead and turn you down just a bit. But otherwise, we are good. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm very excited to have you on today.
Yeah, thank you for the warm welcome. I'm glad to be here.
So, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. It's a little bit later on my side.
Yeah.
Still decent time.
You're a few hours ahead. Well, we'll see how long we end up going. I don't know how long you're gonna be here, but so from what I remember last time, I was like right outside of going to Fanac or whatever. This is the one where I don't have to read anything, right? I'm not nearly as familiar with this game as you are probably, but you have to like fight a bunch of people or something.
Yeah,
although that's all Pokemon games.
Yeah.
That's all Pokemon games. Oh my god, yeah, Fanac City, that's the one. Yeah, I've only played this game once actually. I actually
Really?
yeah, I did a let's play of it blind on my channel a few years back, and I like instantly fell in love with the game because it's just such a good game.
Yeah, it's so good and so underrated as well. It's always surprising how many people just haven't played this game before.
Yeah, that's true.
Like every time you see someone playing the game, there's always someone in the chat like, what is this? What's this game? Like, what's going on? Is this Gen 9 or something?
Is this Gen 9? Yeah, if Gen 9 looks like... Well, at this rate, honestly, it might as well be, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
I would be happy if Gen 9 looked like this.
They got hey Blinks, yeah, they got Shadow Pokemon and Pokemon Go now, so that's pretty cool, but...
Yeah, honestly, I've been taking credit for that to anyone who listens to me. I'm like, it's me, I got everyone playing Pokemon XD again, and now you know, Niantic's taking notice, and we're one step closer to finally getting a remix of this game.
Oh my god, that would be every time. I will say every single year when they have the isn't E3 supposed to be going on right now? I mean, I know it's not because of COVID, but
yeah, it's around the time it would have been on.
Yeah, every single year, I'm like, maybe this year they'll announce an XD remake or another Shadow Pokemon game, and every year I'm disappointed because why would they make another good game?
I know. I always get my hopes up, but there's still nothing yet.
How do you feel about Pokemon in general, like these days? Like, how do you feel about Gen 8?
I mean, I like the graphics. I like just in general, it's a bit flashier, it's a bit bigger. I think Dynamax was like a really good way to kind of introduce a full home console game.
Sure.
Just because it's really like theatrical and really flashy, so it really gets you in.
Yeah, I think the Dynamax and like the Gigantamax works really well like in the story as like the gym battle, the final battle thing, but I don't like it competitively. I'm not a huge fan of it competitively.
I know. I remember when we kind of first got the announcement, and we thought this was it. This was the perfect balance between Z moves and Mega Evolutions. Right?
And it wasn't at all.
And it just wasn't. Because I think we first heard that, okay, just kind of doubles your HP, and that was about it as far as we knew. But then we didn't realize we were going to have these really powerful max moves, which also had really crazy added effects as well.
Oh my god.
Which just completely tipped the balance. And it's just really sad that, especially in singles, we just don't play with Dynamax anymore.
Yeah, I don't play like any singles. I play primarily doubles, which is a great thing about XD. It's all doubles. Yeah, I don't play any singles, but it's even in doubles.
I've been playing a bit more VGC this gen. I think like it's just become more and more apparent each kind of generation that the games are balanced around VGC.
Yeah, I mean they keep introducing.
Really about singles.
Yeah, they keep introducing like moves and abilities and stuff that only work in doubles, and it's like, all right, I guess. Why play singles?
Exactly, and like Dynamax is great in VGC. So it seems a little bit unbalanced, but I think it kind of makes things lean towards a more offensive playstyle.
Sure.
So it just means the games move a little bit more quickly and it's a little bit more offensive. There's no stall in VGC really, other than kind of like Perish Trap teams and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah, not to plug myself here on my own stream, but my only I don't really play competitive at all, but I recently, like about a year back, started a draft league over on this server, and it's a doubles draft league. And so
Nice.
that is my only competitive experience is with is with doubles in a draft league setting. And we actually, even though we were really thinking for this most recent season whether or not we wanted to include Dynamax or not, because we were like, because we have Megas and we have Z moves, and we were like wondering, because we're playing in like Natdex format, and we were wondering, do we want to include Dynamax? And we ended up deciding on no, because in VGC it does work, but I don't know, there's something about it that just didn't sit right with us. It seemed so anti-draft in terms of like preparing for it.
Yeah, I think it's also the fact that you can just on the fly Dynamax anything you want. There's really no thought process.
Yeah.
Like you can go into a game thinking I'm going to Dynamax this one. Oh, whoops, it died. Well, I'll just Dynamax this one.
I'll just
instead.
Dynamax the other one. Yeah, with the Mega Stone having the fact that it's very specific Pokemon and you have to specifically choose, like ahead of time what it is that is Mega, and with Z moves too, less so because I've never been a huge fan of Z moves, but I've sort of gone to know them. Hey, remind me, does Shadow Slap work on new Pokemon, or do I have to switch out to use Shadow Slap again?
You have to switch out.
I have to switch out. Okay, I'm just going for Shadow Rush then. Boy, why you got rattled? You put rattled in this one? You got Gen 8 rattled? Oh, or is that?
Yeah. So a big thing I tried to focus on in XG was kind of incorporating Shadow Pokemon and Shadow moves more deeply into the game mechanics. So I feel in the original game they're just kind of there on the side. It's just a cool thing that is also in the game. But I've put more effort, so you can see there's Dosha Berry, which interacts with Shadow moves. You've got the Aura Filter, which reduces damage from Shadow moves.
Yeah, I saw that. I have that
like
on
that.
like Espeon or something. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I updated
Pure Heart,
Rattled.
right?
So,
What was that,
yeah,
Lynx?
Pure Heart. Yeah. So I added like an ability that reacts to it. So I also updated Rattled. So it's Bug, Ghost, and Dark moves. So I thought it kind of made sense to also include Shadow moves in that. I updated Justified as well. I think I made a low OP. I think with Justified, if you get hit by a Shadow move, it's a +2 attack raise.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, and so I just kind of looked at every aspect of the game, from items to abilities, move sets, and just figured out a good way to make the Shadow moves more integral to the gameplay. And also means you have more counterplay as well. So there's items that boost Shadow moves, there's items that weaken them, the Shadow Terrain, which reduces non-Shadow moves, the Shadow Sky, which powers up Shadow moves. And so there's a lot more strategy around them. Whereas in the original, it's just, well, they're super effective on everything. So just click it and win.
Yeah, that actually brings up like a really good point that I wanted to ask about. I think Lynx, you also wanted to ask about this. So most of the stuff, or not most, a good chunk of the stuff in this game is like you're updating the Gen 3 game to like Gen 7, Gen 8 sort of standards or whatever. I guess it's Gen 7 because of when you made this. But like some of the stuff is just like balance changes. Like how did you decide what to give to what? So like I think Beedrill gets first impression, which it like doesn't normally get. What made you decide to give Beedrill that move?
So in the original vanilla XD, you'll notice that when you purify a Shadow Pokemon, the Shadow moves get replaced with regular moves, right? But I can't remember if it's every single one, but I think the majority of the Pokemon get some kind of exclusive move that they wouldn't normally learn.
That's true, yeah.
But they were a lot more subtle in the original, so it's not a very well-known thing. I think the only one that's still relevant even to today is Magmar got Follow Me. As one of its purification moves.
Yeah, and I think Mr. Mime got one of those, Magmar and Electabuzz, and I literally, again, only know that because of the Draft League, because
exactly.
because those moves are not compatible on Showdown with any other
the Draft League
moves.
players, they always make sure if they've got Magmar or Magmortar, make sure they get Follow Me, which literally to get it, I think to this day you still have to pass it all the way from XD to the newest games if you want Follow Me on it. And so I just thought it was a really cool concept, and I wanted to take that a little bit further. And so rather than most of that, I think the original, most of them just get refreshed or something like that, and it's usually useless moves you get rid of. So I wanted it to be something a little bit unexpected, something a little bit unnatural that the Pokemon wouldn't normally learn.
That's pretty awesome, yeah, I like that a lot.
And I have a bit of a headcanon as well that part of the process of creating Shadow Pokemon is forcing them to do unspeakable things, like forcing them to learn moves that they wouldn't normally be able to learn.
That's pretty dope.
And so it'll be quite some really intensive, rigorous process that closes their hearts off. because you're making these like alternate fighting machines and stuff like that. So in a way, it kind of fits in with the style of the game.
That's super cool. Do you just have this like lore that you've like created? Because that's really awesome. Is that in the game in any way, or is that just you?
Yeah, as far as I know, they don't actually mention at all how they make shadow Pokemon. So it's kind of open to interpretation. They don't really mention how they do it. It's just a thing they can do.
Oh man, I'm really bad at these Mirror B fights. Sneasel is very takes a lot of damage. Is Eviolite you put Eviolite in this, right?
Yeah. I made it so if a Pokemon evolves in Gen 4, then the Eviolite still works as well.
Okay. Is that the
Even
Shadow
though you
Pikachu?
can't get the Gen 4 Pokemon in this.
Have you put? I mean, I was reading through your posts on the XG thing, and you mentioned like trying to maybe at some point in the future putting more Gen Pokemon into this game, but I understand that's probably very difficult. Have you put in any thought into that since you wrote that?
Yeah, I mean, I've got no experience when it comes to 3D modeling and animations and things like that, unfortunately, and it's something I've wanted to learn for a long time, but just haven't got around to it. Fortunately, I was contacted by a guy online, and he just randomly just pops into my DMs one day and mentions, hey, by the way, I'm like reverse engineering the model formats for these games. And I was like, wow, that's great. And, obviously, no pressure, don't want to rush you, but, keep me posted, let me know how things are going. And he's made a lot of progress on it. And it's at the point that I think he's extracted all the models. I think there were maybe like 1 or 2 Pokemon that had some weird things, so it's a little bit glitchy. But he can basically export the Pokemon from the game into Blender, the 3D modeling software. And then as far as he's mentioned, it sounds like to go the other way, so to take a model that you've got in Blender and put it back in the game, that it's quite straightforward once you've done it one way to just kind of go backwards from what you've got. And so in theory, I think the knowledge to do this kind of stuff does exist out there in the world, in the head of one person in Germany. But until he, finds the time to get around to polishing it off and adding all the bells and whistles, there's nothing so far. But there's progress being made, and we are in fairly regular contact.
So what you're telling me is there is actually a chance there will be updates to this ROM. That is so cool to hear.
Yeah, it's funny. In my head, I'm still working on this game actively. But I remember I was watching someone else streaming the game recently, and they mentioned to their chat, the game's been abandoned. And I was like, what?
It's like, excuse you, me?
What?
How do you know?
And then I realized I haven't updated the game in quite a while. So I think the last proper update was maybe even a year and a half ago. And then when Twitch Plays Pokemon was playing the game, they ran into a soft lock, and so they reached out to me and asked me to make some updates to fix the game so they could continue. So made a couple minor tweaks, and that was a year ago. So even at that, I haven't actually touched the game in a year.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Come on, Gooplet. I'm mad. You just killed Pikachu in one hit.
Yeah, that
Power Punch is like 40 power.
Yeah, people really underestimate how weak that Pikachu is. I've seen a lot of people kill it, a lot, and clearly because you're in the Mirror B battle, this isn't your first time.
Yeah, I think this is the third time I failed to catch that Pikachu.
Jeez,
it's not happening.
It's very squishy.
Apparently so, yeah. Oh boy, oh boy.
But yeah, I've got a long list of all the things that I want to add to the game still, and every time I watch someone play the game, my list gets longer and longer.
That's super cool. Anything so far from me yet that you're like, man, this guy's terrible. I need to put this in so he's less bad. I know I actually played this hack, like I think way back when, because I remember playing a version of it where you start off with a shiny Beldum.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
Like a really long time ago, and I think I abandoned it after a couple hours in, just because I don't know, I was doing other stuff, but. Fucking Spiny Shield, fuck this guy. No, but, I remember playing that version. I remember coming back to it and being like, hey, hold on, where's my shiny Beldum? Well, what made you decide to abandon that?
So, I've watched a lot of Let's Plays of this game, like more than I care to admit. I'm obsessed with the original game, I'm obsessed with Pokemon in general, and just on top of that, it's really cool, like, seeing other people playing your work.
Sure, for sure.
And so yes, I'm always taking notes and keeping track of what decisions people make, which Pokemon they tend to keep in their teams and stuff like that. And I found that when people start the game and they see, oh wow, I've got Shiny Beldum, it's really cool for the first 10 minutes. But then when you actually start to get into the game and you're, building a team and you've got a few Shadow Pokemon, deciding what to keep, what to take out, I found that most people weren't willing to commit all the way to evolving it to Metagross because it's level 45. And so it is quite weak and quite squishy up until that point.
Yeah, and it only has takedown until 20, right?
Yeah, and also just having a shiny Pokemon being given to you, it loses the appeal of being shiny. So it just doesn't feel that special. And also it was based on the Gen 6 event, so I think in Oras you got a shiny Beldum if you played the demo or something like that, or if it was like a mystery gift. But now that we won Gen 7 and now even Gen 8, that event doesn't really come to mind anymore. It just felt a little bit outdated.
Yeah. On that same note, I'm pretty sure from what I remember, like the very first Shadow Pokemon I caught in that old version, tell me if I'm wrong about this, but I thought it was like Ralts, and you ended up changing that too. Was that also just because like you wanted it to be a normal type? Was it Teddiursa in the original game? Was it Zigzagoon here? I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, so the original was Teddiursa. Now I believe it's Taylor.
Taylor, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Why that change? Same reason?
Yeah, it's just a similar thing as well. I found putting really popular Pokemon at the beginning makes it really hard for people to really kind of build their teams the way they want.
Sure.
And so you see people just torn, like, oh, I really want to use this Pokemon, which I like, but I've got a shiny Beldum, like, there's no way I can't use this, right? It's a pseudo-legendary 600 base stat total, and so it becomes a bit more logical, and I want people to kind of feel good when they play the game. And
yeah, I like that, yeah. It's like encounter balancing in a weird way, because this game doesn't have natural encounters.
Yeah, and so even the fact that the second starter Pokemon, Zigzagoon, I feel it's the perfect choice for beginning because no one has ever felt bad taking it out of their team. I've never seen a single person complain or moan in any way because they had to take it out of their team when it ran out of space.
Now, I will tell you, if you do ever update this game and turn that Zigzagoon into a Galarian Zigzagoon, I will definitely be keeping it because I love Galarian Zigzagoon. It's so cute.
Yeah, I really want to put it in, actually. I think it's one of the few regional variants that you could kind of get away with a texture swap.
Yeah.
But it's just it would feel weird to have a texture swap for Galarian Zigzagoon and Galarian Linoon, but not have the model for Obstagoon.
Obstagoon, sure.
Yeah,
that's fine. I don't want Obstagoon anyways. I don't like it. Oh man, no, I really like it. I want to see a Alolan Executor though. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I want it so badly, especially because in the newer games, they don't really do the scaling of the Pokemon properly.
Yeah, Wailord's like...
You have a Wailord and it looks tiny, it's ridiculous.
Wailord in this game's enormous.
The only time they properly had the scale of the Pokemon. And you get to see them in their full glory.
In this one? Yeah. In Battle at Revolution, it's not bad though, right? The scaling?
Oh yeah, I can't remember if I've seen Wailord in Battle Revolution. I can't remember how big it is, but I think Battle Revolution probably has it proper as well. I think it's Genius Sonority made that as well.
Definitely wasn't Game Freak.
Yeah, you can tell as well. You can tell.
Produce Mawile v Mawile. Mine's better. Mine's Shadow. Speaking about Shadows, have you thought about making Shadow Pokemon, like keeping them Shadow viable in any sense? Because like every Pokemon game, you end up using a bunch of regular Pokemon doing regular stuff. The Shadow idea is like super cool, but they end up being Shadow for like an hour before it goes back to normal.
Yeah, it's really interesting because in the original XD, Shadow Pokemon just wall each other completely.
Yeah.
And so it's a viable tactic to just make sure you have a few Shadow Pokemon in your team at any point in time, and they just sponge every hit from other Shadow Pokemon. And so I balanced XG around that a bit. And so a lot of enemies are really tough, especially their Shadow Pokemon are really tough because you can just throw your Shadow Pokemon in return. But I found that a lot of players will just purify all their Shadow Pokemon straight away. Which is kind of the noble thing to do, and is kind of the way the story expects you to play the game.
Yeah, that's...
you're saving these Pokemon.
You're not wrong, I'm just mad.
Yeah. So it doesn't make sense to keep your Pokemon a Shadow forever when they're meant to be suffering.
Yeah.
But I did try my best to make shadow Pokemon a lot more viable. So I don't know if you've noticed, Sneasel has Shadow Rush, and I changed Shadow Rush to function the way it does in Colosseum.
Yeah.
And so rather than being super effective on normal Pokemon and not very effective on Shadow Pokemon, it's just completely neutral against all Pokemon, regardless of type.
Yeah, it says like the damage is consistent or something.
Yeah. And so that means that if you throw in your Shadow Pokemon against Sneasel, then you're not safe. You can't say, well, I've got a Shadow Pokemon, so it's not going to do any damage to me. So you actually do have to strategize again. And then conversely, when you have Sneasel on your team and you're fighting against other Shadow Pokemon, you don't have to feel like you can't do any kind of damage and you've got to switch out to something else.
I feel like that sort of gets mitigated by the fact that Shadow Pokemon do just end up getting 2 regular moves.
Yeah.
To some degree.
Yeah, it does happen. I mean, the fact that the Shadow moves are super effective on everything does help. And there's a huge range. I think I've got, what's the number? It's like 40 Shadow moves in this now.
There's
only
a
like
lot.
10 in the original. Yeah, so there's a lot. And so you can see like Shadow Slap is a nice utility move because it works like Fake Out, which is, you know, one of the best moves in doubles.
Absolutely.
You've got Shadow Fang, which can help reduce your target's attack stat. And so just by adding more effects and, you know, you can see you've got Shadow Fear there, which paralyzes the opponent. There's a Shadow move for Sleep, the Shadow move for Burn. So there is a lot of utility to these Shadow moves, so you can use a Shadow Pokemon in that way.
Not gonna lie, I was totally gonna use Shadow Fear against that Shadow Pikachu, and then I was like, ah, wait, it's electric.
Yep.
Nope, can't do that. Oh my god. Sandstream nose... Did that nose pass have Soundstream? Goddamn.
It did.
I didn't know it gets that ability.
It doesn't.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't in this game.
Yeah, I think I tried to make the meta match the later gen metas just a little bit. And so in the newer games...
So Hail is still terrible, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's no way to make Hail good.
So in the newer games, we've got Gigalith, which is a rock-type sand setter, and so I thought just to have a parallel to that, I had Nosepass as a pure rock-type sand setter, and it's got a similar color scheme as well, so it just kind of gave me a Gigalith vibe when I was looking at it.
Yeah, because it can hold Eviolite too in this one and be pretty strong.
Yep.
Did I just get an ability capsule for doing that? That's really good. The ability capsule is the one that just switches the ability, right?
Yep. Really useful. I was really glad I was able to put those in. Took a lot of work.
That was so... I just got one of those for free. That's awesome.
Yeah. And interestingly, so when I did the work for figuring out how to implement ability capsules, it was related to the natures as well, just based on the way the abilities and natures are set up. So I had the ability to also introduce an item that can change your nature. And I was really close to doing it, but it just doesn't exist in the main games. Or at least at the time, it didn't exist in the main games. So this was like just before Gen 8 dropped. And so I didn't add it in, and then Gen 8 added the nature mints. So I was like, ah, sick, you know, I need to put that in the game now.
Oh, there's still no way to heal in Phoenix City. Crying.
There is a bed you can sleep in.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
I'm not
a lot of people don't know about it. It's quite inconspicuous. But in the old man's house that gives you the CD, you can use the bed and you can restore your Pokemon's health.
Damn, I see. I don't... Yeah, as I said, I've played this game once. I'm not familiar with most of the secrets. I just played it the one time. David, are you more familiar with this game than me? Probably, right?
Probably not. It's been a while. I really like this game, but it's been a while.
Yeah. What? So yeah, you were mentioning that the reason that you like XD so much is because nobody knows about it and stuff. Why? I guess that answers the question of why'd you decide to hack this. But like you're also doing a Battle Revolution mod right now, right?
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Where's the what's the reasoning for that? Is that because that's just a battle simulator kind of, right?
Yeah. So starting with kind of Colosseum and XD. So they were games I loved growing up, and I played them over and over again. And it's just something about the games really resonated with me. I think especially because they're a little bit shorter, they have a bit more replay value. And they're just so different to all the other Pokemon games that we have. And so for years, I was waiting for someone else to, one of the hackers to get out there and, start hacking the game, and it never happened. Then after enough time, just one day I was in my room and I was bored, and I thought, hey, let me, maybe I could do it. Let me do some research and figure things out. I did have a little bit of experience making Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald ROM hacks as a kid. But that was mainly using, tools made by other people who knew what they were doing. But I did do a little bit of assembly hacking as I got a bit more into it, and so it just kind of clicked in my head that the same principles that apply to that could be applied to this. And it took me 6 months before I made even the tiniest bit of progress, but I got there in the end, and it was great. And then moving on to Battle Revolution, I found that the file structure and just the way the game is set up is very similar to XD. It's because it was made by the same company, and they reused a lot of the same kind of game formats and things like that. So my tool was already able to modify a lot of Battle Revolution, either with no tweaks or maybe very minor tweaks here and there. But it was also similar that I just could do it, even though I didn't really have anything I personally wanted to do.
What does that hack do? I'm not so familiar with it.
So I haven't made my own mods of Battle Revolution yet. I actually looked into it maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, figured out how things were working, jotted down some notes so I could, write some code to do it automatically in the future. And I just never had any interest in it myself, because there isn't too much you can really do with the Battle Simulator.
Yeah, pretty much.
But after the whole thing with Twitch Plays Pokemon, and so I kind of got added to the dev team so I could help them navigate the issues they were having with XG. And then I found out that they play Pokemon Battle Revolution in between all their runs. So I don't know if you've ever been on the streams, but they have this almost like betting. So you get to see the two teams that are going to face off against each other, and they're like randomly generated. And then you bet either on the red team or the blue team. And then all the people who betted on red get to control the red team, or the people who betted on blue get to bet on the blue team. And then if you win, you get some money.
I've never been aware of that, but that sounds very funny.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's all completely automated, and it's just really interesting, and just the technology behind it is really, really cool. There's a lot of hard work behind it. And so Twitch Plays Pokemon absolutely love Pokemon Battle Revolution. They love it. Literally, there's a 24-hour live stream that goes on for a month between each of their runs, and they just never get bored of it. Every time I go on, there's still the same people, and they're just as enthusiastic. It's really cool, and they all joke that they're probably the only people who actually still play the game. And so obviously, as you can imagine, when they're playing the game that much, they're always trying to find ways to spice it up and add new things. And so I was like, hey, I've looked into the game a bit. I can mod some things. So if there's anything that you were thinking of, maybe I'll be able to help.
It's like, what kind of stuff? Actually, real quick, if you could just remind me where the music CD is.
Oh, it's in the old man's house, which is the same one where you can sleep.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah. So what kind of stuff? Maybe you said it and I just missed it because I'm half concentrating on the game. But what kind of stuff is the Battle Revolution mod include for like the Twitch plays?
Yeah. So the one so far was they play with the European version of the game. Because it has support for multiple languages. And then they've got it set up so I think on some rounds will just randomly pick a different language to play in. But they've never been able to play in Japanese. And so just because the two games are slightly different in a few different places, they're not able to take their code and apply it directly to the Japanese ROM.
I see.
And so what we ended up doing was making a version of the ROM where the English text is replaced with all the same text from the Japanese ROM. And so their code still works on it because it's technically still the European version of the game, just all the text has been automatically replaced with the Japanese equivalents.
That is a very fringe use.
Yeah, I told you, these guys love this game, and they just love to spice up in all the most interesting
I might need to
ways.
check it out. Yeah, Twitch plays, except that no one knows what's going on.
Yep.
That sounds like most of Twitch plays, actually.
And I've got plans for it as well. I've been trying to add the fairy type to Battle Revolution, but for some reason it just doesn't work. And all the usual techniques that I would normally apply in these situations, it just doesn't work, and I don't know why. I found what is very clearly the data for the type matchups, and changing it does nothing. So that's had me stumped for a while.
Interesting. Lynx, you had some. So
I don't know
Lynx
why,
is
'cause,
actually
like adding a type in like something like Pokemon Essentials is like really, really easy.
Yeah, like literally, I've found the exact data that. So it's a data table that has all the different type matchups, and we have a data table like this in just about every single Pokemon game, and so it's nothing new to update it, and it's just really weird that for some reason it's just not used.
Yeah,
As I
'cause a
tried
lot of
looking-
like the GBA ROM hacks have like fairy added.
Yeah, and I tried looking to see if maybe this one wasn't in use, and this was like a backup table, and there was another one somewhere else, and I've spent way too many hours looking for it, and there just doesn't seem to be an answer.
Huh.
I don't have as much familiarity with Battle Revolution, like the code of it, just because I haven't been hacking it for as long. So maybe, after enough time, I'll figure it out, and I'll be like, it was really obvious the whole time.
So
Well,
I don't
that's
think you've
good,
made
yeah.
too many text changes in this game, but I just noticed that this woman said she put in "Shake It Off" by Taylor Swift. Is that your
Yeah,
work?
yeah.
Is that your doing? I was like, that doesn't look like the original dialogue.
Yeah, it kind of reaches a point where you can do things, so you just do them.
Not much of the dialogue in this game has changed, but like I do like it when it is. That's very funny. Yeah. So I was just gonna say. So you mentioned how you got started in hacking with like the games that you liked, and you mentioned I think Gen 4, unless I'm crazy.
Gen 3.
Gen 3, yeah. And so Lynx here has actually been working on a ROM, a Gen. What, Lynx? Why don't you talk about it?
So, I mean, I'm one of the 100 million people who's trying to make a Fire Red ROM hack,
Nice.
And I've been working on and off on this project for maybe 2 years, almost 3.
Yeah,
and-
it's surprising how long it takes. Like, you spend a good amount of time on these things.
Yeah, so like I spent a lot of this morning, because I've just recently got into it again, after hearing that Dimitri was going to have you on the stream. And,
Nice.
I spent the morning trying to figure out how to read C and ASM. And it's tough, How did you get into it?
So for me, it was literally just starting off with the hack tools that other people had made. And so I didn't have any knowledge of what was going on behind the scenes. I just knew, if you change this value in this tool, then, it's going to be reflected in the game. Then it reaches a point where you're trying to do more complicated things.
I'm trying to
So-
add ball and gyro ball into the game, and
Yeah.
that's required for level editing.
Yeah, and so there's all these forums with people who kind of write down what they did and which assembly they changed to add in the more complicated things, like completely new move effects or completely new game mechanics and things like that. And so I guess just from spending time doing that on the Game Boy games, I understood the concepts behind it. Because I mean, hacking any game, it basically comes down to the same fundamentals, which is all the data for the game is at some point compiled into a binary file, right? Which is the ROM that we have. And so any value in your game exists somewhere in this binary. And so the first thing I do when I'm hacking a new game is I try to find Bulbasaur's base stats. And so I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head now, but the value for its HP, attack, defense, speed, special attack, special defense. And the order they're going to be stored in, what those numbers are. So if you search through this binary, you find those 6 numbers right next to each other, then there's a good chance what you're looking at is Bulbasaur's base stats, right?
There you can find other related
Yeah.
stats, like
Yeah,
group
and then
stuff
after
like that.
Bulbasaur, you're probably going to find Ivysaur somewhere nearby. After that, you're going to find Venusaur somewhere nearby. And so it's just a case of searching through this binary and finding values that are useful to you. And if you change that number, when you run the game, it's going to run differently because you've updated that binary number. And so it's surprisingly really simple in the base level of what we're doing. And literally any game that anyone has ever hacked, it's like any mod of any game usually comes down to this same principle. You find the numbers that affect the things you want to affect, and you change those numbers. But obviously, finding those numbers is a complicated bit because there's billions and billions of numbers in this data.
Did you give every single Pokemon in this fight Intimidate on purpose? Because I'm getting mad.
Yeah, I did actually.
Oh, cool. Glad. Why?
Dude, look how scary Golbat is. How can you not give him Intimidate?
Oh my god, it's true. This is the one thing. I mean, I say the one thing. There's a lot of problems I have with the new games, but I miss this game's Golbat movement. From Future.
Yeah, just the animations in general are so good in this game.
Yeah.
There's just
They
so
really
much,
are.
yeah, so much more passion behind it.
That's something that has been missing recently, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
Metal
maybe just a
Claw.
few years.
Just a few. Oh no, I'm very dead. I love Golbat. Is there shiny Zubat in this? Or not shiny, is there Zubat in this one? I love my boy Golbat.
In the original XD, I think you can get Zubat in the Cave Pokestop.
Uh-huh.
Or
Yeah, you
Pokespot.
can.
But in XG, I don't think there's a way to get Zubat, unfortunately.
How did you choose, like, which Pokemon would be in? Because, like, you added a ton, but you also, like, removed a few and you, like, didn't add a few. So how did you choose what was going to get the cut?
Ooh, it was a lot of hard work. Just because there's a limit to how many Shadow Pokemon you can get.
Uh-huh.
And even though I added more, it does reach a point where it just becomes tedious trying to catch so many. So I tried to focus on the Shadow Pokemon that I felt would be the most popular. So which kinds of Pokemon did people want in their teams? And so you can see, like, you know, all the pseudo legendaries obviously are going to be there, and just Pokemon that are generally good or generally cute, or, you know, just so different people can have different Pokemon that they like and feel like they have the ability to make the team that
All right.
matches their usual playstyles.
Now you say that, but I've noticed that neither Corphish or Crawdon is available in the file, so excuse me.
That goes on to my next point, though. So I did have this problem for a long time where every update I made to the game, there was always someone messaging me like, hey, my favorite Pokemon's not in the game, what are you doing? I really wanted this Pokemon, I'm really heartbroken to find it's not there. I think a big turning point for me was finding out how to update the Pokespots so I could have more wild Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
And so there are now, I think, over 75 wild Pokemon you can get in the game. And so that meant that combined with the wild Pokemon and the Shadow Pokemon, actually almost every evolution line is available at some point in the game. And so Crawdon is in the game. You can get it at the...
Oh, really? Oh, I was looking in the files and I couldn't find it. Everything has Intimidate! Why are you like this?
Horde battle in Oris.
Just crit.
Yeah, just crit, dude. Just do it. Oh my god. It's damn Arbok. Losing my mind. I didn't even want to switch Gooplet out. Jeez. Oh boy. This is this is fun as hell though. I really do like this game. I gotta switch out
Yeah,
though.
it's so good.
You're
I thought-
literally,
I
you're
thought
literally
they
battling
ordered it
Dusk.
What'd you say,
Yeah,
David?
I said you're battling Dusk.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we had someone in our most recent season of the draft league that his whole team was just centered around intimidates and switching, and it was super fun to fight against.
Yeah, Intimidate's a little bit broken in doubles as well. I think they've had a lot of changes in Gen 8 to try and limit it a bit. I think especially just because Incineroar was so broken in Gen 7 VGC.
I mean, my question is, if they wanted to nerf Intimidate, that's fine. Why did you give Incineroar Parting Shot? This is counterintuitive.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think its usage is down from last year, just because last year was insane, but it's still one of the top Pokemon in VGC.
Yeah, it's still up there,
It's really
I
weird,
think.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't follow VGC too closely, but...
Oh my god. Oh, this
We
Gramble.
just
You
knew
put
what the
Gramble in this one, but not Corphish. Just can't believe
Yeah,
it.
I know. I
Do you-
still get
do-
those messages as well.
Do
all
you
the
like-
time.
do you
There's
like
always
Gramble?
Does
some Pokemon.
Grandpa really have pictures of Roselia and Gardevoir on his wall?
That's yeah. I've noticed that in a lot of the houses. Gavin. Gotta fight Gavin.
It really does surprise me when you see VGC is all double centric. Lots of the new mechanics and new abilities and new moves are double centric. But you haven't seen a game like XD or Coliseum where the whole campaign is mostly based on doubles since these games, right? Like, there's hardly any double battles in Sword Shield. There's hardly any double battles in XY.
It's weird that they give you so many moves that like only work in doubles, and then you never play in-game doubles.
Yeah, I feel like there's such a split in Pokemon because you get the game, you play through the story, and then it's almost a complete context switch to then get into competitive for the people that play competitive. Like even when you see the top VGC players playing through the main story, it's nothing like the way they play when they're playing competitively.
Yeah, not
You
at all.
don't care. You don't care about any kind of strategy. You just pick your favorite Pokemon, slap on 4 moves that do damage, and try and get some type coverage and just one-shot everything.
I do kind of respect one aspect of Gen 8, even though I like mostly hate it. And it was that like they tried to make it so that you could use the Pokemon that you used in your playthrough and make them competitive somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, with, like nature mints and stuff, yeah.
Like I do respect that, but also not if they're G-Max.
But then there's also Pincurchin, though.
Well, I mean, I can find a ranking VGC team with a Pincurchin on it probably somewhere.
My boy.
Yeah, I think just every gen in general, they've made it easier and easier to get competitive Pokemon. And I was saying a while back to one of my friends, I think this is the first gen that you can just catch a Pokemon and you can make it a VGC viable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. Because you can change the abilities, you can change the nature, you can change
you
the
can get egg moves on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah, because Pokemon's always about friendships, making friendships, and then it's like as soon as you go to competitive, that's all out the window, because you are not allowed to use the Pokemon that you play through the story with.
The facade comes down, and it's like, no, breed the genetically superior Pokemon. It's never been about friendship.
Yep. Yeah, I think in the Isle of Armor, there's the Dynamax soup, which lets you turn a non-G-Max Pokemon into a G-Max Pokemon.
Yeah. It's coming out
So
in, like,
even
less than a
that
week.
is easy to do now as well.
Yeah, that's true.
It's coming out in like 4 days.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm
It
so
sure
hyped for
is.
that.
I'm not getting it just because I have certain opinions about Pokemon right now, but I am excited to see if they add any new, like, Galarian forms. I know I want to use Regieleki, even though it's not called Regielektric, but...
Regieleki.
Yeah, Regieleki. What is that? It's so bad.
What are their base stats going to be? I mean, we're not even going to see them because they're not even in.
Yeah, they're not in this one, but noteworthy.
But their base stats have to be like. I mean, there's got to be a 200 somewhere.
Special attack. 200 special attack, and its special move is a trapping move. It's that 20
and
power
then it's going to
trap.
have like no defenses. And I don't know. Game Freak's balancing is not the best.
Yeah, I wonder if they actually really do any kind of game balancing, to be honest.
I mean, they have to, because like I look at the transition to Gen 8, and it's like people were so mad about the removal of hidden power, and then when you looked at some Pokemon's updated movesets, suddenly it all made sense.
Yeah, I don't.
Like
I feel
with the
like,
addition of like mystical fire everywhere.
yeah, I feel like what they do is they just make a bunch of Pokemon, and then they just kind of naturally settle into tiers.
Yeah,
If you make
Yeah.
400 Pokemon of varying degrees of usability, eventually just the players will naturally gather around the ones that are working well, and over time, the ones that weren't working move down to lower tiers, and it just naturally falls into place.
yeah. I guess I'm just surprised that the ones that did work well before and used hidden power fire got mystical fire and thus still work well.
Yeah, I think they did add a lot of coverage for a lot of Pokemon. So even things like Power Whip being given to things like Gyarados and Seismitoad, and yeah, I remember being really, yeah,
I
it's
didn't
crazy.
even know that.
I remember being really scared for this gen's competitive scene. So I think when the leaks started happening, like a few days before the game actually dropped, and I'm one of those people, I hate when leaks happen, but I can't help looking at them when they do.
That's me
Yeah.
exactly.
And so I remember seeing all the coverage that everything was getting, like Mystical Fire on all these Psychic types and Power Whip on these Water types. And I thought, how are we ever going to play this game again? Because you're never going to know what any Pokemon's going to use. You're just going to be, perpetually scared that any Pokemon could have a super effective move. But
Yeah.
I think it worked out okay in the end, because obviously the metagame does start to form, so you start to know what kinds of moves to expect.
I could argue that it didn't work out so great for singles, but
That's good.
VGC is in a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
I kind of hate the state of OU.
Yeah,
They're
it's
just
really
banning a
bad.
bunch of stuff, yeah.
I don't think I've played any Showdown in Gen 8.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I've never been able to bring myself to do it. It's just, yeah, it doesn't seem fun.
Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Wish Teleport?
Oh boy.
Yeah, Lazadin was just saying in chat that Stonjourner is a Pokemon that literally has no ability in singles.
Yeah,
we've
it's
got
true.
Power Spot. What's its other one?
That's it.
Oh, well, there
It
you
just
have
has
it.
Power Spot. And if they did any real balancing, Zacian wouldn't exist. Well, I mean, in fairness, Mega Rayquaza and the Mewtwo's already happened, so...
Zacian's better!
I know Zacian's better, but I think my point is I don't know why now is the point where we're starting to think about Pokemon not having any balance.
I'm actually totally fine with things like Fox Legends being way outside the usual realm of balance, right? Like,
See,
because they're supposed to be,
I
you
am
know,
too.
legend.
Until the second season of VGC rolls around and they're like, anything that's not mythical, you can use it. Go ahead, use Zacian.
Yeah,
what, you can use Zacian?
Crazy
That's
overpowered
bad.
Pokemon get allowed, but then mythicals aren't allowed, even though most of them aren't even broken anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just like Jirachi and Mew that would be broken if they were truly allowed to have any of their moves.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like no event Pokemon usually, so Jirachi wouldn't even be broken. Because it wouldn't have things like Follow Me, it wouldn't have Moonblast, it wouldn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Aw, wait,
Maybe
this
they
guy
just
doesn't have a
look-
shadow.
They might have just dug themselves in a bit of a hole. I think after they introduced Mega Rayquaza, they introduced Mega Mewtwo, they introduced Ultra Necrozma. So you've now got all these Pokemon that are so strong that you need more strong Pokemon just so there's actual counterplay to them.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of why Dex Cut happened.
Yeah.
But now they're bringing them
Honestly,
back.
I think it was a good thing. I think we kind of needed it, at least for a year or two until the rest come back.
Yeah, then they're all
I
gonna come back.
think saying that they're never coming back, which they did, was not okay.
Yeah, definitely. It was very soon after. It was only a few months after they said, "Oh yeah, there's no plans. They're never coming back. Sorry, just deal with it." Then like, "Oh, DLC's coming, and we're adding all your favorite Pokemon back."
Yeah, Garchomp still doesn't get Dragon Dance, by the way. Even though it's a TR.
That would be so scary.
Do none
It'd
of
be
the
banned. It'd be banned, 100%.
do none of the Power Rangers have shadows in Fanac here?
If you didn't catch it before in the Shadow Lab, then they just have
Okay.
the same one as before.
I see. Okay. How do shinies work in this? Because I was watching a couple people play, and like shiny seemed like more common. Is that true, or are those people just lucky?
Yeah, so in the original XD, so I don't know if you know about the infamous shiny glitch in Coliseum.
I'm not aware of it now.
So the way the game works, so you know shiny Pokemon are calculated based on the Pokemon's PID and the
Right.
trainer's TID, right?
Yeah.
And there's a formula for that. So in Coliseum, when a shadow Pokemon is first generated, the trainer ID is a trainer ID of the NPC that owns the shadow Pokemon. However, once you catch the shadow Pokemon, its trainer ID gets updated to the player's trainer ID.
Okay.
And so this means you've got two different calculations for whether the Pokemon's going to be shiny or not.
Okay, so you can like see a Pokemon is shiny, catch it, and then
Yep.
it's not. That sucks.
Exactly. And then if you see one that isn't shiny and you catch it, then it might be shiny after you catch it.
Huh.
And so, yeah, and I've seen there are people who, I think there's been a resurgence recently of shiny hunters for Coliseum who are like really into it. And so for every shiny hunt, you have to catch the Pokemon first, look at it in your party, and that's the only time that you know if it's going to be shiny or not.
That's such a pain.
Yeah, but you can't just see it appear and then restart. You have to catch it, and then check it, and then restart. And yeah, it's nuts.
Why would
I
you
guess-
want a shiny hunt in this game?
Heck, is-
No
When
idea. And so yeah, so it's really infamous for the shiny glitch, which caused a lot of problems. And so interestingly, when the devs got around to making Pokemon XD, and they thought, so we've got this issue with these shiny Pokemon, what should we do about it? Their solution was to just disable the shiny. So basically, shadow Pokemon just can't be shiny at all. in XD.
Oh, interesting. So, I don't think, David, you would know more about this since you used Mr. Mime in one of the TDD seasons, but if you have, like, Follow Me Mr. Mime, can it just not be shiny?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't realize that.
Not. Yeah.
But
And
you added shinies back.
Yeah, so what I did was actually fix the issue. So I made it so whenever Shadow Pokemon is generated, it's just generated with the player's trainer ID. Which I think is such a simple solution. I don't know why the original devs didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
They already have it, yeah.
So, what you're saying is that the shiny rate in this game is not higher than the 1 in 8,000.
Yeah, so on top of re-adding the shiny abilities, I then increased the shiny odds as well.
Oh,
Just
okay.
because you don't encounter as many Pokemon in this game and you don't play it for as long, so I thought it'd be nice if,
I'm
some
gonna
play
regret
it.
asking because I'm never gonna find one, but what are the odds?
I think I settled around 1 in 200 or something.
Interesting. How many Mon are
That's not
in the
bad.
game?
Yeah, it's not bad. There are around 120 Shadow Pokemon.
Okay, so you have about
yeah.
a 50% chance of finding one.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty decent. I've seen some people, find maybe 2 shinies in a run. Some people don't find any. So it's still rare enough that it still means something.
Yeah.
But you might get one. And I find that when people see a shiny, they might be more inclined to try a Pokemon that they normally wouldn't try as well.
For sure, yeah.
Which is quite fun. I
No,
guess kind of going back to your question before about choosing which moves to give to Pokemon, like first impression on Beedrill. I think a big focus I had was is almost the opposite philosophy of the original games. In the original games, you had such a limited pool of Pokemon you could choose from. They kind of narrowed the way you could play. So I tried to kind of go the opposite direction and make every Pokemon as viable as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And so you find a lot of people struggle to even decide which ones to put in their team because everything has some play. And any Pokemon you choose, you will find there's some interesting tactic that you could use it for.
I really wish vanilla Pokemon were more similar to what you're talking about. A big game of my ROM hack is like, let's just make every Pokemon, potentially usable in, an OU environment, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I can't really do that because I'm not some balancing god, but I don't see why it's not at least aimed for, Like, why are there some Pokemon that are just trash?
I mean, Game Freak can't do it anymore either, because, oops, we made Kartana.
I don't know. Explain the joke to me. I don't get no Kartana.
I mean, he just
Either
comes
way.
in and he has like 180 attack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's so broken. And then Beast Boost as well, just to make it even more broken every time it kills something.
Dimitri, I don't know if you're aware of any like singles strats.
No.
Because you don't really play it.
I do not.
But like people were running like a minus attack plus speed nature on Kartana so that it would Beast Boost into speed.
Okay, so
And
it's...
it's still one-shot everything.
Oh, I got False Swipe on Sneasel. That's nice. I like that.
That's helpful.
That will be nice, so I don't kill that Pikachu next time I see it.
Man, do you know how False Swipe works in Mystery Dungeon?
No.
So obviously you can't catch Pokemon in Mystery Dungeon, because knocking them out is how you get the opportunity to add them to your party. So the solution in Mystery Dungeon is False Swipe's just a very strong move, but it can't kill.
Okay.
And I think that's such an interesting idea. I'm experimenting with it in my project.
Oh, so it basically it leaves them at 1 HP, but it has really, really high... Okay, I see.
That's really interesting.
And
Actually.
the move.
Giving them
But
an
it-
Endure.
Yeah.
Dust says the Pikachu deserves to die anyway.
Well, I mean, look, I'm just trying to complete the game. Sneasel's dead again. I get in the feeling Sneasel's gonna be dying a lot.
Just give it an
Yeah,
Eevee
that
light.
makes happen.
I don't have an Eviolite yet. I need to do Battle Tower Place Mountain.
Go get the TM for Thief.
Who am I gonna steal it from?
I don't know, someone just started using it on every unevolved Pokemon.
Do the enemy Pokemon have held items in this game?
Some of them do. I think, especially as you get towards the end of the game, or possibly in Colosseums. The Colosseums are meant to be a bit more challenging than the main kind of story NPCs. So they tend to have items a bit more often.
Makes sense.
I have been paying zero attention to the game this stream, so I'm kind of lost. I think I'm supposed to go fight the man with a moon for a head in the Colosseum. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, so I think there's a step before that. So if you go into the pre-gym, there's a few enemies
really?
in there you have to clear out.
Okay.
Then you get access to the Colosseum.
I just found the Justy gang. I'm trying to kill the Justy gang, but I don't know where the rest of them are.
Yeah, it's interesting because you actually don't need to battle any of them to progress with the story. But I found a lot of people do anyway, just because it's just fun to kick their butts.
Yeah, and they drop battle CDs too. You were gonna edit those, right? How's that going?
Yeah, it's something I've been working on for a long time, but I haven't quite got around to finishing that, unfortunately.
I can imagine they're glitchy as heck.
Yeah, because I mean, the whole premise of the battle CDs is there's a very precise way to beat them, and they're obviously very based on the mechanics of the game.
Of Gen 3, sure.
Yeah, so as soon as you change anything, everything falls to pieces. So,
it's just Jenga.
Yeah,
Have
and
you
I
changed?
took out a bunch of moves and added in new moves and new abilities. So just none of them would work without updating them. And it's a lot of work to come up with something that it has to be difficult enough that you don't just get the answer straight away, but also has to be intuitive enough that you could reasonably figure it out. And so I have to be able to figure it out, but I don't want you to be able to figure it out.
I see.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, some of them in the
it's
base
a lot of
game.
work.
Some of them in the base game were like pretty cool, but a lot of them were easy, and then some of them were just dumb, like the one with Aerodactyl and Kyogre, that I still don't know how you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, and you can tell they put a lot of thought and effort into this game, and a lot of work went into it. I think just kind of making my own version really makes you appreciate how much work it is to do these things. I'm sure you've come across the same with your Fire Red ROM hack as well. Even just going through and modifying each trainer and coming up with teams for them and coming up with strategies and deciding what should go where is a lot of work.
Flinks, what's the difficulty of your hack?
I'm trying to make it difficult enough that you have to, it's a little bit more difficult than vanilla Fire Red, but it's not supposed to be the most challenging thing on Earth. I've more or less buffed every single Pokemon in the game to one degree or another, and so I have to make it harder so that the buffs aren't for nothing and don't make the game pitifully easy. But I'm not trying to make it extremely difficult to beat.
What was your for XG here? How are you trying to do on difficulty? Like I've already noticed the game is more difficult. So what was your goal with that?
So it's interesting because I've seen a lot of people who give up on the game because they complain that it's just way too hard.
The original or this version?
XG.
XG, okay.
Yeah, but I've seen some players who just absolutely destroy the game. And it's fun kind of watching from the perspective of the person who made it, because I'm always rooting for the NPCs to win the battle.
That makes sense.
That's hilarious, and I love it.
Well, the AI the AI in XD is probably the best AI in any Pokemon game. Funnily enough, it's really weird.
Yeah,
and
not
they
the
actually do
names.
things like switch out. They actually switch out their Pokemon if they get too many debuffs, and actually aim to set up or use Protect and Earthquake on the same turn and things like that. So they have a little bit of AI, but it's still not anything that could even come close to just a human being who has experience playing Pokemon games. And so the way the game is balanced right now is I've put in a lot of items, a lot of abilities, and a lot of moves that are really, really broken. And if you take advantage of those things, the game is really easy. But if you go in playing XG the same way you would play, say, Sword and Shield, where you just pick your favorite Pokemon and you just click buttons and just click the super effective move on each turn, then the game will be a lot more difficult.
Oh, fantastic. I can't wait to get my ass handed to me.
Yeah, so it does expect you to, have at least a little bit of an understanding of strategies of things like, using Protect and Earthquake on a turn, or using Fake Out to give yourself a free move on the other slot, using setup moves, maybe having a weather team and things like that.
Yo, what's Mawile's name, though?
No, I don't know.
Someone named Mawile.
Dentures.
What? Skechers?
Dentures.
Dentures. I prefer Skechers, because it's unrelated.
Skechers it is.
Have you done anything involving like messing with trainer AI?
I did a little bit. So I found the data that affects the trainer's AI, but I have no idea how it works.
Okay,
Right.
that's fair enough.
So what I did was I went to Orre Coliseum, which is the kind of final gauntlet at the end of the game. So it's kind of the game's equivalent to maybe like the Battle Tower. And so all the Pokemon, all the NPC Pokemon's levels are set to the level of the highest Pokemon in your party. And all of that. And so I took the AI from one of those trainers. I just applied it to everyone else in the game.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I found some very interesting results with it, but I found that overall it seems to be a little bit better than the default, because I think the default was just pick random moves.
Oh, really?
But there are some trainers that do have specific AI given to them. Yeah. And so I think, who was it? I think it's Gorrigan, the third admin you face.
Mm-hmm.
And his team is programmed so they would always click Protect and Earthquake on each turn.
I hate that.
Yeah, and so they did program a few tactics here and there. So it was just a case of trying to copy that data in other places. Even though I have no idea exactly how that data works, I just know that it's going to do something, and it's going to be a little bit better than random moves being clicked or whatever the default was.
I like how you gave it the Paralyze Shadow move, and then it just learns Glare when it becomes purified.
Yeah, I wanted them to be useful when they're purified as well. So the Shadow Pokemon, it's got useful moves, and you can kind of use it in the same way. Once it's been purified.
Shadow, Super Fang's pretty good. I don't need Baton Pass, I don't think. It doesn't really get stat boosts. What else you got? 32. Oh.
What made you interested in making your first couple of ROM hacks, like the ones you did in Gen 3 before you made XG?
That's a good question. Actually, I have no idea. I mean, I was really young at the time when I started, but I mean, I've always been really obsessed with Pokemon and love playing Pokemon games. So I guess it's a natural step from playing the Pokemon games so many times that you know it inside out to, hey, let me make my own version and mix things up a little bit. I think I remember. I don't know if you guys heard of Pokemon Chaos Black.
I'm not familiar with it. Are you guys?
Yes, this is a classic. So there was this bootleg Pokemon Fire Red ROM hack called Pokemon Chaos Black, and there used to be cartridges you could get on eBay of the game. And so this was, the internet was a lot younger at the time. We were all a lot younger as well, so we didn't really kind of understand what was going on. All we knew was there's this like corny Pokemon game that people were talking about, and it was really hard to get your hands on. And so it had a few fake mon in it as well. But I think there was some bug with it. So, I think in Mount Moon or something, the game would crash and you couldn't progress any further. So really, really dodgy game. But I guess just from that, it kind of evolved from, there's this ROM hack. I can't get any further. But there's this ROM hack as well. And there were just all these other games out there. And I remember there was what was it called? It was like Pokemon Ruby Legends or something was one I really enjoyed. And it was essentially like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but it was a Ruby ROM hack. A lot of really cool stuff. And so I think just after playing the main game so much, then getting into playing modded versions of it, it's a natural evolution to end up wanting to make your own changes as well.
Do I got chat? I do got chat. Okay, it's showing up. Yeah, I had a question and then I completely forgot it. So, I was just gonna say you were mentioning Chaos Black. I've not played Chaos Black, but my the one I'm familiar with is Perla, Pokemon Perla, which is what? Does anyone even remember what that was? Are you familiar with Perla? Have you heard of it?
I haven't heard of it.
I think it's like it's a Vietnamese crystal sort of version of like Pokemon Emerald, and not Pearl, Pokemon Emerald or something like that. But it just doesn't work. Like I don't think you can get past like the second town.
Yeah, you get that with a lot of ROM hacks.
Meteor Bowers like Perla's garbage. Someone in chat, Meteor Bauer, is asking, what are the modding tools like for XD? I know there's a lot of programs for modding Gen 3. Is there a similar community toolset for XD, or is it mostly individual tools per hack?
You're a pioneer, right? Like, you're doing all the research yourself.
Yeah. So there's kind of 3 steps to what I do. So the first step is I kind of poke around the game files and figure out how things work and what things to change. The second step is once you figured out, what you want to change, is creating tools that can automate that process. And then the third step is actually using the tools I've made to make those changes in the game. And so a lot of my time is spent on making hack tools. The unfortunate thing is just based on the skill set that I have. And based on my job and based on the programming skills I have, all my tools are made for Macs and not for Windows. And so there's a lot of people who just haven't been able to use them just because they happen to have Windows. Windows is still very popular, and so it has been a bit problem. And something I'm looking into. There are some things coming out, so I should be able to start doing some stuff on Windows at some point. And I've been trying to see if there's any developers out there who kind of want to help me port my stuff over. But at least for now and for the foreseeable future, all of my tools are only on Mac. But I do know there's a lot of people who have contacted me about it, and they've ended up setting up Mac virtual machines on their Windows computers. So they are there, and I've put a lot of effort into my tools, so I like to think they're pretty good, and I've got pretty good feedback on them as well. And so the vast majority of all the changes I've made can be done through my hack tools. So they are out there if anyone's interested, and I have heard of a few other people out there who've started using them, and they're working on their own hacks as well.
Beedrill. Yeah,
So you're saying there is a community tool set, but you made that tool set.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I mean there are a couple of other people online who, so after I kind of gave the basics of how to get into modding Coliseum and NeXt, some other people followed the steps and they made their own tools as well. So a few tools out there that weren't made by me that are useful for some things. But the vast majority are in my tool. So I kind of combine them into one main tool.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so if you want to edit base stats, if you want to edit textures in the game, if you want to edit where you find items, if you want to edit moves, all sorts of stuff, it's basically all encapsulated into this one tool.
I see. What's your favorite ROM hack? Is it one of yours? That would be perfectly acceptable. If you said XG, I would totally accept that because this is one of the better ones I've played. But like, do you have a favorite ROM hack, Pokemon or otherwise?
Ooh, let me see. I used to play so many back in the day. It's been a while. I think since I started modding XD, it's been my biggest focus, and I've played this so many times, never got bored of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched so many Let's Plays and never got bored of it. So so literally speaking, it would probably be XG.
Uh-huh.
But excluding XG from the list, I had a good time with what was it? What were the black and white ROM hacks called? The difficulty ones, like Blaze Black, Blaze White, Blaze Black?
Yeah, Volt White, Blaze Black.
Yeah, there we go, Volt White and Blaze Black. Yeah, those were really good. And I used to really enjoy the Gen 3 ones with fake mons. I can't remember any of the names of any of them, and they were all really, really bad, but just at the time,
You're not wrong.
They were just a lot of fun back then. Yeah.
Shadow Pincer.
I feel like I have to ask about the one more recently finished awful ROM hacks.
Oh, Pokemon Clover.
Yeah, that one.
I haven't seen that one. What makes it so bad?
Well,
It's
I
a
mean,
bunch
the
of
whole
4chan
game
memes.
is based on 4chan. So
Yeah.
that is the issue with it. But
What's
then I look at the actual game, and it's so well made.
Yeah, they've done tons of retexturing. They've added in Gen 6 and 7 mechanics. Like you can tell a whole lot of passion went into polishing this game. But then all the Pokemon are like, Kekroach and yeah.
I mean, the thing that blows me away the most about that game is the trainer AI plays like a competitive human.
Ooh.
Like, if they're not very effective on you, they'll switch in and they'll double switch on you. I've seen the AI double switch on you.
That's crazy. What game is that ROM hack of?
I think Fire Red.
Ah.
Everyone
But
in
not-
mom does Fire Red.
So not like Pokemon Essentials or anything, like actual ROM hack?
No, it's Fire Red and it's 100% fake mon. Like only fake mon.
That's crazy.
And like while the fake mon designs are all like universally awful because they're all 4chan.
Their stats are good and their abilities are good and they have good move sets. Like the thought into making the Pokemon actually usable is entirely there. It's just they're also living jokes. It's infuriating. If they just resprited all the Pokemon, everyone would respect this game.
Yeah, that's actually insane.
I mean, the way I describe it is it's the highest quality, highest effort shitpost I've ever seen.
I don't know. What about that other Pokemon one that we were talking about the other night with where you give like Paper Bowser?
Yeah, Paper Bowser.
Skylanders Bowser. What is that one called?
I don't even
Pokemon
remember.
Whack.
Pokemon Whack.
There we go.
Yes. Scyther. Man, why wasn't Scyther Shadow? I like that one. Why would you do this to me, Stars? I want a Shadow Scyther, though.
Maybe there's one later.
Is there one later? Are you spoiling for me, Hamster Wings?
I said maybe.
Oh. That's cool. I like
And
Scyther.
Star. Stay silent.
Yeah, no comment. No comment.
He's like, it's really funny to me that you mentioned, and it totally makes sense, but you're just like, you root for the NPCs when you watch people play this game, which is so fitting and so funny.
It's just
Yeah.
dungeon master behavior. He's
I
being a
spent
dungeon
time-
master.
I spent so many hours coming up with the best strategies, best movesets, best team composition for all of these enemy teams, that to see a player run through the game too easily is honestly heartbreaking.
Yeah, because that's like a lot of
especially-
like thought that you put into it that is just not being seen.
Yeah, and especially with the way the Pokemon formula works, once your Pokemon are a few levels higher than the NPCs, there's a good chance you're just one-shotting all of these Pokemon. And so I spent time picking 4 moves for this Pokemon, thinking about it, make sure everything was good, and then a player can come through, one-shot the Pokemon, and you literally have no idea what moves it had. You don't know its ability,
sorry I killed that
you don't know if
Scyther.
it had an item, it's just gone.
I'm sorry I killed that Scyther so quickly. I apologize.
It's alright, I forgive you.
What 4 moves did that Scyther have? Pop quiz, do you remember?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Doesn't care that much, apparently.
I saw
Doesn't know
him. I saw him use feint, so there was something cool going on there.
Feint,
Yeah.
that's so cool. Oh my god. Feint
But
is
anyway,
such a
when-
weird move, I love it.
When you get to the next admin battle, hopefully things should be a little bit more complicated. for you.
That's Snaps or whatever, right? Snapple?
Snapple, yeah. I found most players will lose their first battle against Snapple. So if you can beat the
Interesting.
first time, then that's really impressive.
Interesting. Alright,
Oh my
let's...
gosh, Skarmory sits on this game. In this game,
Dude, but he's still
stands
immune.
on the ground.
He's still immune to Earthquake, though. Ever think about that?
I just don't recall ever seeing a model of Skarmory looking like that for some reason.
I think part of maybe the very first time I found XG... actually, David, do you remember what year I played XD blind for the channel?
Like in 2012 or 11.
12, yeah, something around there. Yeah, and I just remember because like that was my first introduction to the Shadow Pokemon games because I had not played them as a kid because I got into Pokemon later than most people, and I remember after playing that I just had this because back in when Gen 5 first came out, like Electros basically became my favorite Pokemon of all time. And like I've loved Electros ever since, and I remember just thinking, man, I wish there was a Shadow Electros somewhere. And then I found your ROM, and I was just like, oh, it would be so cool if there were Gen 4 and 5 Pokemon. Please make a
Yeah,
Shadow Electros when it happens.
Yeah, I've had this dream for so long. I think for me, mine's Bishop. I don't know what it is.
Shadow Bisharp would be dope.
Yeah, just Shadow Bishop. Like, it keeps me up at night. like, it'll just be so cool. It'll be so cool. And so, I can't wait for it to reach that point. But I don't want to heckle the guy that's working on this
Of
stuff.
course,
I don't want to push him into anything. Whenever people ask as well, I don't mention like his online handles or anything. So
yeah, because you
people
don't.
can't
Yeah, I mean,
contact him.
the internet will be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no need for that. That's awesome, dude. Although, just if you take anything from me today, just please, if you do end up making it, please make a Shadow Sigilif, because that's changed. My favorite Pokemon has changed to Sigilif.
How'd you change within like 10 seconds?
Yeah, as Electros has always been my favorite, but since we started the draft league, it basically took over as my favorite Pokemon, just because I sort of use it because it's a very like low tier Pokemon that like isn't good, and then I just started using it.
It's so underrated.
It's getting use in Gen 8, which is weird because like the gravity hypnosis is like now people are like, ooh, interesting, Sigilif can do stuff, and so I want to.
Yeah, people just ran Life Orb.
Oh, or that, yeah, because it gets the magic guard.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. What's it called? Alakazam getting nasty plot in Isle of Armor. That's gonna be something.
Yeah, Alexander.
Is it gonna be? Have they shown it off yet?
I don't know. I don't remember if I've seen Alakazam in Isle of Armor.
It's not even super effective, dude. It's not even. Is Steel in this game weak to, or not weak? Does it resist like Ghost and Dark? I assume not.
Okay, so I think my Wi-Fi cut off for a second there.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah,
You there?
looks like I'm back. Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay. I was just gonna ask you. Does Steel keep its resistances from Gen 3, or is it new Steel?
So the time matchup's all updated to
All updated.
Gen 6, which was the last time it changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do when they add a new
Yeah.
type?
Add it into the game as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Like I said, in my mind, the game is still in active development.
That's
Just recently, I've been focusing more on the tools,
Sure.
but working on the tools will then help me to actually make the changes more.
Yeah, that's nothing like we see on our side, but that doesn't mean it's not being worked on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would adding like stuff like Megas and Z moves even be possible given the architecture of the game?
I mean, the way I look at it is technically you can do anything you want if you work at it hard. It's just, is it so much work that it's not? And right now, it's probably beyond me.
I'm just thinking for Megas because like they need to have a certain item and they have to like change their stats in the middle of battle, which you can sort of do with stat like ups and downs, but not really.
Even just swapping a model mid-battle sounds like a pain.
Yeah. I think I can do most of it. The only thing I'll struggle with at this point is mostly the UI for that.
Yeah, because you have to add the extra button and everything. Yeah. And it can only be one mega per team. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be a case of changing maybe the core button to like a mega, but then you'd have to check that it's got a mega stone first, and then also adding in an animation for the transformation.
Mm-hmm.
So I could do it. So 1 second you're looking at the base form model, and then just the next second you're looking at the mega evolved one. But to actually add some flashy animations around it would be a little bit more complicated.
Well, I like what you did with giving like the base Pokemon like stat boosts and ability changes. Like that's nice. Is Power Up Punch gonna kill this Piloswine? Probably, right?
No, Power Up Punch is so weak.
It's weak to it, but also Piloswine's kind of tanky.
Well, Stars just told me he's weak.
Yeah, Power Punch is really, really weak.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it did kill the Pikachu.
What did I get? Just glare back out.
Maybe the burn is going to be too much. It'll push it over the edge.
Yeah, that's why I'm switching out to... I'm switching out to, the one that has paralysis.
Yeah, so that it can die in one hit to a ground move.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh. Well, never mind. You target. Oh, yeah. Smart me. I'm good at game. No, it's fine. I got Knuckles. He's got.
Steven says, "Oh hey, I've done that." Switching in Mahal into a ground move.
Yeah, well, what if I prankster swagger? You ever think about that?
You mentioned that your recent focus has been more on the tools than on developing this game directly. Like, is ROM hacking part of your daily life? Do you work on ROM hacking every couple days, or like how much would you consider that?
Yeah, it's tricky. So I've got a full-time job working as an app developer. So I make iPhone apps for a company, and usually that's pretty chill. And especially because my work is in a technical field, and so it's all related. So it's quite easy to switch between the two. Normally there's a good balance there, but just recently, especially with the global pandemic and everything, there's been a lot more. It's just been a lot busier at work, and there's a lot more focus on making sure that we keep our clients happy, because all the clients are running low on money, so you've got to make sure that everything's up to scratch, so they still feel like this is a good place to invest the limited money they have left, and things like that. So I've been just completely swamped with work the last few weeks, but we're coming close to the end of the project, this particular project. And so I'm hoping that once this is delivered, then I'll have a lot more time, and then I'll be back into it a lot more.
This past one's gonna kill itself. No! Don't do it. Your life's worth too much.
But I do spend a lot of my free time still like watching live streams and let's plays of the game. So it's still fresh on my mind, and I'm still in my head at least working on how would I do this, or how would I go about implementing this kind of change and stuff like that.
Got another question from Meteor Bauer here. He says, and I think you probably mentioned that they are, but just to check, are other battle effects beyond type charts also updated for Gen 8 mechanics, such as new accuracy, confusion rate changes, paralysis, speed changes, etc.?
Yeah, so my last update was before Gen 8 dropped, so everything is still at a Gen 7 level, and I do have plans to go to Gen 8 eventually when I get back to working on it properly. I remember there was a point where I'd added just kind of one or two Gen 7 mechanics, and so more often than not, the mechanic wasn't implemented. I think it's now at a point that more often than not, the mechanic has been implemented. So things like prankster moves don't work on dark types, electric types can't be paralyzed, powder moves don't work on grass types. So a lot of even some of the more niche mechanics have been added in. Things like the life orb doesn't damage the user if the ability is share force.
Okay, interesting that you mentioned that, actually. Is it always when... Because I'm just showing off the fact that I just learned something new a few days ago. Sheer force, from what I learned a few days ago, only doesn't hurt the user if they use a move that is affected by sheer force. For you, does sheer force completely ignore life orb, or only when they use that kind of move?
Yeah, so at the moment, it just completely ignores it if the ability is share force, just because I got a bit lazy with the assembly. Because assembly coding is not so fun sometimes.
Understandable.
No, I'm here for that. No, sheer force always blocking life orb, that's what I'm for. Mirror B has appeared. Oh no, I'm gonna kill the Pikachu again.
Sheer force has so many just weird interactions, man.
Pirate Town!
Do you know if you hit a Golisopod with a sheer force move, emergency exit doesn't activate?
Yeah, share force is really weird. It's really, really weird.
How did you... stuff like error late and pixelate and stuff is in the game. How did you implement new abilities like that? Because there's no existing process for that kind of stuff in the code to change normal type moves, is there?
No, there isn't. So like you say, so when I first started out, most of the hacking was kind of hooking into things that already existed. But as I got a bit more familiar with the assembly and how to code things, it reached a point that I was able to do kind of most things that came to mind, which is quite good. The way to look at it is any code that the original developers wrote in C eventually gets compiled down to assembly, right? And so if you understand how to modify the assembly, you have just as much power as the person who was originally coding the game.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just a lot harder for a human being to kind of reason in assembly than they could in a higher level language like C or Java or something. But assembly is just as powerful as any of those languages. And anything you can do in any of the most modern languages on any of the most modern computers and hardware, you can do it in assembly just as well.
Meteor Bauer, I assume you're question marking about shear force and not something that starts. I think he's confused by the fact that shear force blocks emergency exit from happening.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Emergency exit is obviously the secondary effect of taking damage.
Oh, he's asking now. He's actually asking now. Would it be possible to decompile the assembly code back into C? He says he knows they've done that for Emerald.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, there are a lot of Pokemon ROM projects that they've gone from the assembly back into the original source code, or at least source code that would compile to the same ROM. And yeah, in theory, you could do that for any program that exists in the world. It's just a lot of work and a lot of effort.
They just recently accomplished that for Fire Red in October 2019. Now they have the whole game written in C.
Yeah, I think every Pokemon game up to Gen 3 they've decompiled so far, which is crazy. And so yeah, I did have someone mention the possibility of maybe doing something similar for like Coliseum XD or like Battle Revolution, but it's a lot of work. And part of it as well is you need the same compiler that was used, so that once you've got the original source code, or at least something close enough to the original source code, you need the same compiler so you get back the same product at the end. Well, all these compilers are kind of proprietary Nintendo owned stuff, so yeah. But I think with the major Pokemon leak that just happened, someone was wondering if maybe there's a compiler in there that would make these kinds of projects possible. But I don't really know too much about it myself.
Nice. What's your favorite feature of this game?
Is it the original or the ROM hack?
The ROM hack. What you've added. What have you added that you are the biggest fan of? Maybe that's a.
There's a lot in there.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Yeah. So something I tried to do was for each major boss battle, I tried to have something that's a little bit surprising for the player, something a bit unexpected. I think especially because most of the game is the same as the original, so most people aren't really expecting anything too different. You expect, the battle mechanics to be different and things like that, but you're not expecting kind of things outside of that. And so I won't spoil exactly what the surprises are, but you will see that most of the major boss battles, there will be something that's a little bit like, whoa, what's going on?
I look forward to Snapple in just a bit here after I catch this goddamn Pikachu.
Yeah. And then I'd say probably the thing that I was most proud of was you'll find towards the end of the game that there are some kind of wild encounters of static legendaries. And so just out and about, you're just walking through the game and you can see a wild Groudon standing there, and you walk up to it, and you press A and it initiates a battle with a wild Groudon, which is quite cool because they don't have anything like that in the original game.
Now, is there a wild Robo Groudon that I can catch and ride in?
No comment.
Nice. That may be my favorite thing from the original game. I mean, when I was playing this blind on my channel, there were like a couple of things that like completely wowed me. One of them was the gloom that like sleep powders the player, because it's like that's something you don't see in the games, is like Pokemon attacking humans.
Yeah, exactly.
And stuff. And that was something that I just thought was so cool. And the other one was Robo Kyogre riding in this robotic Kyogre, and I was just like, this is the coolest thing ever. And so I want that.
Cool game, such a cool game. I love this game so much.
Okay, I'm gonna catch this Pikachu. It's gonna happen. I got me a Pokeball.
I'm glad it didn't die this time.
Yeah. Yeah, it can't. Yeah, I was thinking because I used False Swipe on it to get it down to 1, and I was just wondering, does it have Shadow Rush, and is it gonna kill itself? Because if so, I'm about to be a little bit tilted. It's Pikachu. Okay, thank God. Now I'm
So
only
have you ever
like...
played, have you ever played Colosseum then?
I've not played Colosseum myself, but I have watched playthroughs of it since I've played XD. So I'm aware of it, but I've not myself played it. If I did, it would probably be with your randomizer hack.
Yeah, that'd be quite fun. I found it is quite hard to get back to Colosseum after XD, just because they did polish up so many things.
Yeah.
But it's still a good game. I think just in terms of the tone of the game, it's a lot darker and a lot edgier, which I don't know. It makes the game itself, like the lore of the game, more interesting. Although mechanics-wise, XD is a lot better, which is why I spent more time modding XD.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that is what it comes down to. Have you tried at all to? I mean, I don't know what the like multiplayer possibilities would be through ROM hacking. I'm not familiar at all. But like, is competitive something that you think could happen in this ROM?
So I know there's the net play on Dolphin. So like all the Melee players, Smash Bros players use net play so they can play online. So it is something I considered. The only couple of things is, first of all, it's quite tricky to have something that feels competitive, just because it's similar to Battle Revolution. When you do battles, multiplayer battles on there, both players have access to the other player's team, if you know what I mean. Right? Because you have to display the moveset on screen, and everyone can see the same screen.
I see.
And so unless you're playing with the DSs, I can't remember if you could connect your DSs on Battle Revolution, but no, like in XD, if you're playing on a Game Boy, you could pick your moves on the Game Boy. But if you were playing with a controller, your moves would be on screen, and so they had a system where you'd have to press a certain button combination for each move. And so if you knew the button combination for each of your moves, you wouldn't have to show them on screen, or you could flash them on screen really quickly.
Man, I forgot this game had local multiplayer.
Yeah, it did.
And it was so good.
Yeah, and so it's really inconvenient to do if you're both using the screen. And so that's the only thing. I think it just wouldn't work as well when you can see everyone's movesets and items and which Pokemon they chose to bring in and things like that.
Did this man just use U-turn on me? Did I get U-turned on by a Staryu? Damn.
I don't think it learns that one.
Then what did it use? It just left. What does Staryu have?
Yeah, I think it probably was U-turn. I wasn't watching there.
Oh, did you give it U-turn? They got that flip turn now, though. They added that new.
I really
move.
hope flip turn is actually water type U-turn.
That's what it looks like.
And if Toxapex learns it, I'm angry.
Au revoir. Yeah, the French name for flip turn is au revoir, which is very good.
I love that. That's so cool.
I'm looking forward to the Showdown DLC aspect of Isle of Armor, but not so much Isle of Armor, because it's like I already bought an unfinished game for $60. I don't really want to spend another $30, but I am excited to use the stuff in it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I don't think I've gone into a Pokemon game expecting a good game for a long, long time.
It really has been since the DS, hasn't it?
Because I'm a Pokemon fan, but
Yeah.
objectively speaking, they're not the best games, unfortunately. And they just have so much potential.
Yeah. They really do. Reggie Electric. Don't remind me that it's called that, Meteor Bower. Why wasn't it Reggie Electric? Reggie Electric.
You mentioned the potential of these games, and like that's a big motivation to hack them for you, right? For me, it is. Like, I'm frustrated at the state of the games, and so I want to fulfill what I see could be done, and so I'm trying to mess with what's there to make what I see could be there.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally that. There's just so much that's so obvious, and the thing I found as well was when modding games, a lot of the best changes are when you take something out. It's so interesting, like so many game developers, they put something in the game, but the players are like, we just don't want that. The game would be 10 times more fun if you just didn't do that thing.
Do you have an example? I'm interested what you mean.
So like one of the biggest things that got me into modding XD was, because I started with Colosseum, And then I realized that XD already had the physical special split from Gen 4.
Uh-huh.
Just it was only being used on shadow moves. And
Really?
it made sense, yeah, it made sense at the time because obviously the game still had to be compatible with other Gen 3 games. So they would have obviously been working on Gen 4 around the same time, so they knew about the physical special split.
I'm mad! I'm sorry. I'm really mad at this Hitmonchan. He keeps switching me out. I just want to hit you. Bullet punch, I'm angry.
I love it. And see, I'm rooting for the AI, so...
I know you are, and I'm happy that the AI is winning in some sense, but I also want to... I'm torn. This freaking circle throws me back into Sneasel. Screw you, man. Gooblet can't learn more than 4 moves. Belly drum. Oh no. Oh no. You gave it belly. Well, it already had belly drum. Interesting.
Yeah, I already learned that.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, Citrus Berry isn't gonna survive.
What do you mean? Just give it a power up punch. Who cares? This doubles. They might not hit it.
Get rid of Power Up Punch for Belly Drum. But I use Power Up Punch to the the Shadow Pokemon.
Yeah, but you have Glare.
That's true, I do have Glare now. Yeah, let's do it. Belly Drum Azumarill. Oh boy.
Who doesn't love Belly Drum Azumarill?
I don't know, me when I had to fight against it.
That's fair.
Marowak. He's holding that bone. That's not your animation. I was gonna compliment you for making Marowak's animation very funny, but
I was not quite Amy.
no, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt on that one. That was yours.
Wait, he had a Pasho Berry.
He did? What? Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? This man.
He weakened your water move.
I'm dying, dude. Should've used ice. Well, no, because I got stab on this. This thing got Pasho Berry.
Oh, hold on. Stab Aqua Jet is 60 base power and Ice Punch is 75. You still... Okay, whatever.
What? It's the same. Aqua Jet go first. I have low speed, but I go first anyway. So
yeah,
there.
but you didn't have loose... Whatever. You're making fine decisions, Dimitri.
No,
You're
hey,
doing
I
it.
didn't...
You're
How was
playing
I supposed to
video
know
games.
it had a Pasho Berry? Avlinks? Think about that? I don't know what
Yeah,
item has.
I mean, I guess if I had to predict
Boy, I
that
got
it had an
huge
item,
power,
I
not
would have said Thick Club
Frisk.
and not Pasho Berry.
I got huge power, not Frisk. Haha, Aqua Jet go burr. Is that something you've not been able to fix? Stars the like between each battle, it just not saying any text.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
it
It's
just
really
goes
weird.
yes, no, and I'm just like, I don't know.
I could have sworn it worked when I tried it. Like, when I was developing, I tried it out, and I saw the text come up saying, "Do you want to use the PC?" And I'm pretty sure it worked just fine. And then I uploaded it, and then everyone was complaining, "Hey, what's going on here? Why is there no prompt?" And then I looked at it, and yeah, it doesn't work for some reason. So it's something that's top of my priority list when I do get back to work on the game. And I'm pretty sure it worked at one point in time, so I'm quite confident that I should be able to get it to work again.
More Intimidates, more Hitmon bastards. I like Hitmontop. It's good. Good Pokemon. That's bad. It's alive. It's using Circle Throw. What a surprise.
Dude, why do new Pokemon games not have Hitmontop on his top? Like, it's ridiculous.
Oh, even if you kill, you drag me out, huh? Okay. Okay. That's
That's not how that's supposed to work.
Whoops.
You've ruined me. I'm dead. I need to get rid of Clefairy. I don't think this Clefairy is very useful for me.
Does it have Friend Guard? Maybe it's OP.
I don't think it has Friend Guard. Oh wait, Friend Guard would be so good in doubles. Does it get Friend Guard? Can I ability capsule it to that or not?
I think it's
Not yet. I'm planning on adding Friend Guard to the game at some point, but haven't got around to it yet.
Okay, because that would actually be a very good reason to not evolve into a Clefable for me right now. What do I have? I have a Skechers.
And ability capsule wouldn't work anyway, because I think that's hidden ability. Unless that works differently in this game, which it probably does.
You don't have hidden abilities, right?
Yeah, there were no hidden abilities in Gen 3, so
Yeah.
they're just considered normal abilities.
Does everything still just have 2, or do some things have 3?
It's just 2.
Just 2. Okay, makes sense.
I would ask you how you chose to remove certain abilities, but I think that might be pretty obvious with, like, Hyper Cutter.
Yeah, it's just a case of which ones would be the most fun to use, basically, and which ones would actually be competitively useful.
Man, fire types, why you be like this? I got Gooplet, though, so it's fine.
I forgot it was named Gooplet. That's great.
Dude, no, it's Gooplet, dude. We're here for it. See, so you just, not to call you out or anything, but do you just, like, look up, like, Pokemon XG playthroughs and, like, just watch them?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool.
Like,
Do the
honestly,
same thing if I had a ROM hack.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm very happy you found mine and you agreed to come on here and talk with us because this has been super awesome.
Yeah, thanks for reaching out. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, you reached out. You reached out. You had Passioberry again? Come on. Why do you do to me like this? I'm burned and everything. This is terrible. This is the worst day of my life.
They all have Passioberry.
Why are you like this?
Every Pokemon in the game holds a Passioberry. That's the secret.
Everyone is Passioberry. No, it's fine. I got Aqua Jet. It's real good. I'm belly drummed. Did I use belly drum properly? I don't remember.
I don't know. Did
Oh,
you?
apparently not. I thought I used belly drum, but I guess not.
No, I think you used Aqua Jet twice.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm bad. It's fine. I still win. I'm real good at Pokemon games. Have you ever yeah? Someone
I was gonna say, so you work on software, and then you work on ROM hacks.
Yeah.
And so it seems like the natural combination of those would be, making original software that is a game. Have you ever entertained the idea of making an original game?
I have done, actually. But it's a lot of work, I guess, is a short answer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think one of the things I would like to do at some point in time is make some original games as well. I'm still fairly early on in my career, so still kind of developing my skills, getting a little bit of money as well, because to make anything you need money, unfortunately, in this world.
That is how it works.
Also, thank you, Stormy, for calling me out on me having less than half HP when I use belly drum. Because I did use belly drum and it just failed. I'm good. No, I'm real good at the game. Have you done anything like this before? Like coming on a stream for somebody else playing your game?
No, actually. So I've been in the chat in a few different streams. But
Right, for Twitch, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, but never like actually having a conversation, like a dialogue with people playing. So
well,
it's really interesting, a lot of fun.
Yes, I'm glad. I would love for you to come back in the future. That'd be super cool, but I am sorry that I'm playing your game so poorly.
That's alright.
You keep saying, like, man, all these things. I put so much thought into each and every Pokemon, and, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they do, and I'm just, Aqua Jet go brr.
It's fine, man. It'll just be cathartic when you lose.
Yes.
Yeah, but the main point of the game is for people to have fun anyway. And there are a lot of things that I put in that are meant to look really difficult, but secretly they're not that difficult at all. So it's more about having fun and making sure that if you spend the time making a good team and using good tactics, then it'll pay off and you'll feel like you've accomplished something. Which is something I feel is missing from a lot of like the main Pokemon games. You don't really feel like you've accomplished anything just because there was no strategy required.
Yeah.
You just click surf like 10 times. Yeah.
Man,
Exactly.
Drought. Vulpix already had Drought. I'm dumb. Never mind. I thought you. I was like,
Correct.
I was gonna be like, you gave this thing Drought, but no, you did not. That was there.
Dude, be careful. That's gonna be the fastest Nuzleaf in the West.
Oh, you make a good point. That is very true. I need to kill it immediately.
Wait, you have
I
to
really
catch
wish
that
we
one.
saw.
You have to
I
catch
wish we
that
saw
one.
more.
Oh, I have to catch that one. Oh no.
Well, I think he might be dead.
Haha, play rough, go burr. Miss. Yes.
You actually missed.
I fucking missed, dude. I'm here for it. Corey's in the house with the miss.
This is gonna do a lot of damage.
Yeah. Sunlight is strong. Oh, Sneasel's dead. He killed himself. I guess he didn't have enough to live for.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
You weren't friendly enough towards him.
Oh man, I'll do it. I'll get better. I caught that Sneasel before I caught the Mawile, but of course Sneasel just keeps dying because I'm terrible. So okay, so yeah, this Nuzleaf I need to take care of this somehow. Wait, I should not Will-O-Wisp it actually.
You can just glare it, and the problem is entirely solved.
Right, that's what I was saying. I shouldn't Will-O-Wisp it. I should glare it. That's what I'm getting at, dude. All right. We got glare on deck. Got glare on deck, dude. I'm here for it. Viper voice. It's not gonna kill, I hope. I'm sure it won't. Damn, okay.
But you did crit it, though.
Yeah, I did. It looks like a grass move, but it's not.
No, it's a shadow.
It's shadow move. Saved by the 10%.
I wonder how realistic it is to make a shadow move with, like, multiple types.
Oh, like flying press?
Yeah, like flying press.
Yeah, I considered something similar actually. I was thinking of something where, so if you used a move like Shadow Wave, so my version of Shadow Wave, which is basically a surf clone, and if it was powered up in the rain or something like that, or if you used a kind of fiery shadow move that was powered up in the sun and things like that.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, it'll be interesting, but it's kind of hard to message that to the user or to the player. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess without having like a dedicated tutorial that says something like that, it would be.
Yeah, there are a lot of hidden mechanics in Pokemon games that are like really obscure, and you just get used to it just by playing for so many years. But thinking about it, for someone just coming into a Pokemon game for the first time, there's no way to know about even half of the stuff that's in there.
Yeah, that's true.
I learned about EVs on Maryland.com. Not from any Pokemon game.
I learned about EVs from the Gen 1 when Bill gave one to me. Haha, I'm so funny.
Yeah, you're hilarious.
I'm so funny. I'm a real streamer. I do video game. Ivysaur, is that shadow execute? No, I already caught a shadow from him. What point does the game start like doing double shadows? Have you done that yet? Like at this point in the game? No. Okay. I don't remember.
In the base game, it's when you lose the Sag Machine and then get it back.
Does that happen in this one? Oh wait.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Okay.
I think that's when it happens in the base game. I don't remember entirely.
Yeah, I think it's around then.
Sludge Bomb, that's not very much damage. I'm good actually. I'm happy fine.
You did pick the broken EV.
Yeah. If you did incorporate like stuff like Alolan Executor and stuff, do you think you would make it already like the evolution, or like how would you implement a cross evolution for like a form?
So I think one of the nice things about XD is because you have the Shadow Pokemon, it does give you a separate way of encountering them. And so I'll probably have the Alolans as Shadow Pokemon, and then have the regular forms in the Pokespots.
Oh, can you make new ones? Can you make fake ones? I want a what do you call it? What is this? Orre? I want Orre forms.
That would be so cool, actually. That would be really cool.
Orre Sigilif. It makes sense because it's all like desert. Let's get Orre Sigilif in here.
Okay, so you're asking him to put a Pokemon in the game with a new model and then make a variant of it. All
yes, right. Yes, just for me. Just
a little bit of a high ass.
Just for good friend Technovoid here. I don't ask for much. I just ask for you to just put in a completely new Pokemon and then make a variant of that completely new Pokemon. It's fine, right?
On the bright side, some point in the future, that won't be too difficult to do. It's more a question of when that will be, I guess.
No, I didn't want to ask straight off the bat, like when we first spoke, like, are you still working on XD? Because I didn't want to be like annoying, like, hey, are you working on this game still? But the fact that you have now said that you still consider this in production has me so hype.
Yeah, like I have a lot of big plans.
The dream is still alive.
There's so many things that I now have the power to change. That, yeah, the game is gonna get crazy. Don't worry about that.
Nah, dude.
Yeah.
Y'all heard it here first, folks. Technovoy 200 stream. XG isn't dead. We're doing it. So good. All right, Sneasel, please have fake out. I need it.
So you said like you're excited to see people play your game and have fun with it, but you've also made all these tools. Do you get excited when you see people using your tools to make something? Like, what have you seen people make with your Pokemon XD tools?
Yeah, so I've got a few messages from people who will kind of ask me about the tools, like maybe it's something they don't understand or it's crashing. Unfortunately, because I kind of developed them really quickly for my own usage, there's very little in terms of making sure it's intuitive for other people to use. So it's intuitive to me because obviously I'm the one that made it, but for other people it's quite complicated. So I do get a lot of messages from people just kind of asking about it or if it's crashing, and then I'll quickly go and fix a little bug somewhere. So I do know there are quite a few people out there using the tools, but I haven't seen anyone else publish like an actual, even half complete ROM hack of the game, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm expecting that at some point we will start seeing them crop up one by one, and I'm really excited to see what other people do with the game as well.
Give me a few years, maybe I'll make one.
I need help. I'm assuming Ice Shard on Sneasel isn't worth taking over Ice Fang because it's already so fast.
Sneasel's decently fast, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna drop Ice
really
Shard.
quick.
Oh.
So to answer Lazadin's question in the chat as well, so he asks, are you planning on adding fake ones or just adding the newer Pokemon?
Well, he already answered that. He's making Orre Sigilif. we already agreed on. I'm holding you to that. Fucking Sneasel's face is so dumb. Love it.
But yeah, we had the conversation earlier about how all these ROM hacks with Pokemon, like 99% of the time they're really bad, and it's quite a shame. I didn't want XG to end up being the kind of game where people feel it's cute and it's interesting and nice try, I see what you're going for, but overall it's not my style. There were a lot of changes I made at the beginning because when I first started out it was just kind of a fun project for myself, and I was like so it was interesting that other people were also interested in the game, and so just over time, seeing the kind of feedback I was getting, I did start to change things to make them a bit more normal, I guess. I can't really think of a better word, but to make it feel like a well put together game and something that was well thought of, but not lean too heavily into the memes. So you mentioned like Pokemon Clover is basically like just a really well made meme at the end of the day, and so I did have a lot more kind of memey things and things that were just, oh, that's kind of funny, but it doesn't leave you with a good impression of the game. You laugh a little bit, but you're kind of laughing at the game as well.
For what it's worth,
professionalism, I guess.
Yeah, for what it's worth, this
exactly.
feels exactly like a Game Freak made game, except for the part where it's actually good. But like, it feels super professional. It feels like this is something that could have come out of Game Freak if Game Freak gave a shit, basically. So congratulations on that.
I don't know, man. An NPC mentioned Taylor Swift.
Yeah, so
you posted cringe, you lose subscriber.
Yeah, you can still see there's a few little things here and there where I had fun, but there was so much stuff before, and I did tone it down a bit and try and make it, like you say, like feel a bit more professional and actually feel like a game that's worth playing and maybe even coming back to in the future and things like that.
Yeah.
And so to answer the question more directly, so no plans on adding Fakemon specifically, but at the same time, I don't think XG will be the only ROM hack of this game that I do make.
Of XD, you mean?
Yeah, so I'd like to think that I'll probably make a few different types of XD ROM hacks in the future.
Interesting. Like, so this is like, so XG is next gen. It's like the one that you implement all the like updated stuff from the new games. What other sorts of directions could you take this game in, you would think?
Yeah, so I did recently start kind of drumming up some ideas of a completely new storyline for the game.
Oh-ho!
Um,
Would that be
and
text
so-
changes, or would that be like event changes?
yeah, like completely redoing all the events and the ordering of things and having a rival in the game and all sorts of stuff. So, like I was saying, it's at the point now, just because I've been working on this for so many years, I can change a lot about the game relatively easily.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, so it'll be really interesting to take on something a bit more challenging and actually, create a different story, a different narrative, and a different progression through the plot and things like that, and just start from scratch, basically.
That would be very cool, yeah.
Are you versed in like changing areas at all?
What do you mean, David? Like, do you mean like changing the look?
Yeah, like changing the landscape and the environment and stuff. Like just making a new area.
So if I had the 3D models for new area, I could incorporate them into the game.
Okay.
But again, I don't have the 3D modeling skills myself. And there's
Gotcha.
also the tool for doing it is being developed by someone else. And so I
Yeah,
think the
okay.
model formats for the actual like rooms is essentially the same as like for the Pokemon. So the same tools should be able to relatively easily, like
Okay, so it can just apply the same way, even though
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, different. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's again, it's theoretically possible. It's just a bit of work.
Yeah, it's possible, just not now.
Oh, I haven't seen this yet. Shadow Strength.
I have been looking into getting rooms from Colosseum that were cut from XD and just kind of copying them over because the file formats are the same.
That makes sense.
So yeah, so that's something I'm looking into.
I've
You
not
just
seen
got double
it.
downed, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't... What is Shadow Strength? I haven't seen that one yet, I don't think.
I mean, he's got a rain team. Can't you just sweep him with Gooplet?
Google it? I could. I don't have strength in my abilities. I'm in belly drum, that's a bad idea. Will-O-Wisp. No. Okay. No, that's...
Are you Will-O-Wisping?
No. I'm great balling.
I was gonna say, Hariyama are known to have guts.
Oh! Oh, I paralyzed him and he had guts!
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Yeah, I should also mention that Shadow Strength is a facade clone.
Hey!
Oh my God.
Alright, cool. Cool.
That's
And
why
this was how Dimitri got obliterated.
that is how he eviscerated the Mawile.
Yeah, you're lucky you caught it pretty early. Otherwise, that would have been a problem.
I didn't even realize you paralyzed it.
I didn't realize it had guts because I'm dumb.
Burned. No burn.
Me neck trick. In the rain? No way. This thing had
Yeah,
lightning rod.
And thunder.
And thunder.
Maybe.
Oh, boy.
I've seen a few people try and Nuzlocke this game, and they've all lost, just by the way.
Ooh.
That's
They've all
understandable.
failed.
I don't hear that as a challenge for me because I think my gameplay speaks for itself, but I do hear that as a challenge for some of my friends.
There is one Nuzlocke that I've seen that's currently going on YouTube right now,
Uh-huh.
and they're doing really well. They're getting towards the end of the game, and they've had a lot of deaths, but they're still going, so there's hope that he might be the first person to successfully start the game.
Now here's a question for the Nuzlocke. Are you rooting for him or are you rooting for him to lose?
You know what? Just because the odds are stacked against him so much, I'm actually rooting for the player on this one.
The one time you're like, alright, please win. That's awesome. Okay, I just sent in a flying type. What is wrong with me? At least I got that swagger.
Do you just have Murkrow as your get out of jail free card right now?
Murkrow's just like, please attack yourself. Uh-oh. Bye, Murkrow.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Have a good time.
But yeah, so just to re-answer the question, just because someone asked again about megas. So it's something that I would be interested in doing, but it would be a lot of work, and it's currently just outside my capabilities. But yeah, it'll just be more work than it's worth at this point.
Yeah. Another thing that I read, I don't know if you've done FAQs before, but I read somewhere in your posts, something that I thought, oh, do I have to fight another one in a row? This is not good. Uh-oh. I'm about to lose. I have 2 Pokemon. No, I was thinking about, like, how Shadow Pokemon would have, like, different colorations, like Shadow colorations, and you mentioned that because Shadow Pokemon are such a small part of, like, their usage, it just wouldn't be worth to recolor all the models, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that, with my current skills, it's fairly easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just more work than it's worth, really. I've considered adding maybe 1 or 2, but then at that point, it's, oh, why didn't you do all of them? So I think it's easier to just have the one.
Uh-huh.
Rather than try and do all of them. And a big issue when you're doing ROM hacks is you end up having to swap things out. You don't have as much freedom as the original developers, and so for everything you add in, you're also trying to look for something else to take out. So it's kind of like a Full Metal Alchemist, equivalent exchange.
Equivalent exchange. Well, I hope you don't lose an arm and a leg for making Pokemon games. That would be unfortunate.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit.
That'd be too bad.
That's not an equivalent exchange.
Arguably not. Yes.
Yeah. And so I find, any piece of, like, assembly that I'm adding, I have to find some code somewhere else to take out. If I'm adding in, like, a new model, then probably have to take out a model for a different Pokemon somewhere. And so yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the biggest challenges that does come with.
Yeah, I guess if you, I shouldn't say if, I should say when, like the modeling for, like, future Pokemon does become available to you. As you said, there's only a certain number of slots in XD for Shadow Pokemon, so you'd have to start switching stuff out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How would you? Would it be the same process as you had in the first place of just choosing the ones that, like, less people are attached to?
Yeah, I guess so. And there's also, so like I was saying, the Poké spots help a bit because you can have more Pokemon available through them. And so right now in the game, there is a little bit of overlap. So there are some Pokemon that you can find in a Pokespot, but you can also find in the Shadow.
Oh, okay. Is it like pre-evolutions, or is it just overlap?
Yeah, so I think Metang is available in one of the Pokespots, but there's also Shadow Metagross towards the end of the game.
I see.
And so if you want one before the end of the game, you can get it.
Okay.
But if you can't be bothered to raise one, and maybe you want to play a bit of the post-game, then you have the Shadow Metagross available to you. So it's a bit flexible in how you obtain the Pokemon, and there's just in general, it's good game design to have multiple ways to achieve something, rather than having one really obscure way to get something that the game doesn't tell you in any way. So yeah, and so since there is that overlap, there is a little bit of freedom to maybe say, okay, this Pokemon is only going to be Shadow, or this Pokemon's only going to be in Pokespots. So yeah.
I don't have any other Pokemon, do I? I sure don't. Okay. All right.
How much?
Are you going to lose this one?
Do I have I have some revives. He's a Hyper Pot or Super Pot. Blanks, you can talk. I'm just debating what to do in this bad situation.
Yeah, I think what you do is lose.
Well,
you're bad at the game.
Hey now, I'm a rock star.
How much free space is on this game's ISO? Because, like, in Fire Red, there's plenty of free space, and so I've never really worried about running out of free space to add stuff in.
Yeah, I think on the Game Boy games, only like half the space or something, right?
Yeah, most of the ROM, like maybe 3/5 of it is completely empty, and so I have a lot of space to expand and add on.
That sure would be nice, huh?
So it's not that way with this game?
Yeah, pretty much most of it is in use. So most of the things I've done is taking things out. What I've found is there are unused things that are left in. So there are a few rooms that are left in from Colosseum, but don't actually exist in XD. What else? Just like random game files for things that they just didn't end up being used for whatever reason that you can take out. There's stuff from the demos, So there's data left over from the original demos for the game all those years ago that you can take out without really causing any problems. And yeah, just things like that in general. I think you can take out data for other languages. So I think even in the US version, there's text from other European languages, and so I just took all of that text out and just forced everyone to play the game in English.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's probably a decent amount.
Yeah, I don't think you can even change the language options in the US version. I'm not sure.
I'm having a bit of trouble here. Is Houndoom does not like this Great Ball. He's not super happy with it. Nope. Nope. Ruh-roh. Lazarus was suggesting that you you do polls for what Pokemon gets snapped.
I feel that would probably end very badly.
Yeah. I gotta ask you, so like from Gens 4 through like 8, like what are your favorite Pokemon? Like what are Pokemon you would want to include?
Ooh, nice question. Oh, there's so many. I actually made a list at one point, but that was before Gen 8 dropped, so the list is probably going to be very different now. But yeah, so I mentioned before Bishop. I don't know why, but just
yeah,
the idea of
that sounds
Bishop
awesome.
just would be really cool. There's Honchkrow, which is my brother's favorite Pokemon, so I want to put that in. Frostlass is my favorite Pokemon, personally,
Nice.
so that would make the cut, no matter what everyone says. I know it's not the most popular Pokemon, but I like it.
Frostlass is dope.
Yeah. I really like Alola Ninetales as well, so I think Alola Ninetales would be really good in the game. I hadn't thought of Alolan Executor before, but now that you've mentioned it, I really want to see that in this game. I'd love a battle with Alolan Executor next to Wailord. That would just make me so happy to see.
Long boy and tall boy together at last. What other huge, enormous, stupid Pokemon are there? If you really want to have fun with the scaling.
Yeah, I feel like they never really went for anything that outlandish again, really. I'm probably too scared.
I think what you do is you put Alolan Executor next to like Joltik or Roselia.
Oh my
That
god.
would be awesome.
You could already do that. You could do like Roselia and Wailord in this. Yeah.
I feel like Guzzlord's probably quite big, right?
I wonder.
Yeah.
I do like
Yeah.
Guzzlord. Ultra Beasts in this would be
Yeah, I
wild.
would really like to see Ultra Beast in here. That'd be so much fun. And I like Grimmsnarl a lot from Gen 8. I think that'd be a really cool shadow Pokemon.
Did people hate Ultra Beasts?
I don't know.
I think Ultra Beast as a concept was really awesome. They just didn't use it properly.
Okay, that I agree
Yeah.
with.
Like you're playing through Sun and Moon, and halfway through the game, it's like, whoa, Buzzwoles come, through this wormhole. It's going to destroy the whole Alola region. And what's the guy's name? Hal's grandfather? I can't remember his name now.
Oh,
What's
Habu,
Hala.
Hala.
Hala, yeah, exactly.
Hala and my boy.
and Coco, they're facing down Buzzwole. It's going to be this big showdown. You see them running towards each other, and then it just cuts out, and you just don't see anything. And then they don't really affect anything. The whole time there's this big threat, like they could literally destroy the whole region, and they have no impact on the game whatsoever. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're kind of just the post-game catch this thing.
Yeah. So there's a lot of
That's
talk about how
great.
dangerous they are, but they just aren't any kind of threat.
It's been that way since Gen 3 or 4, where you had... Well, no, because in Gen 3 you saw, like, the weather legendaries really ruined everything for
Yeah,
a
exactly.
second.
Like half the map gets affected by the fact that this Pokemon's been woken up, and that made them feel threatening.
Yeah, and then Gen
then
4, you
in
go
Gen
into
4 you
Distortion
have-
World.
But you also see, like, Polka and Dialga don't affect anything, and it's frustrating, right? They're
Yeah.
supposed to be able to bend space and time, but until you go to the Distortion World, you don't see the impact of any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the worst was Gen 8, where they're like, oh, there's a giant Dynamax Pokemon about to destroy the town. Oh, don't worry. We'll sort
Leon's
it out.
got
You
it.
just- Yeah, you just ignore it and go on and do something else, because it doesn't matter. It's so crazy. You see Leon defeat the Dynamax Pokemon on the newspaper.
And it's just a Berserker turned sideways.
Yep.
Like they just took the model and just turned it sideways. Oh man. That yeah, no, I was thinking like Gen 5 did some stuff with the legendaries. I mean, Black and White 2 was like literally just like the whole thing's ice because of Kyurem, right? Or am I misremembering that?
Oh yeah. That was
Oh yeah, good point. Good point.
Kyurem froze that one town.
Yeah.
You had the scene where Kyurem like devours the other legendary.
Yeah,
pretty
with
cool.
the DNA splicers and stuff.
Dude, I want the completed dragon, the original dragon, as a Pokemon. Kyurem fused with both of them.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I remember seeing a rumor back before Sun and Moon came out. So we got a silhouette of Perfect Zygarde,
Uh-huh.
and there was this rumor that was the original dragon, and that
Oh,
got
really?
me so hyped. That got me so hyped.
No, I don't actually remember that, but that's pretty cool.
The one health live. I'm not doing any damage to these two. I think I need to revive someone. I wish I had stored power right now. I got like 4 cosmic powers. Oh man.
He's got a Soul Rock and a Lunatone.
Man, the Lunatone.
I noticed
Dude.
they keep using Moonblast. Are these two Rock Fairy or are they still Rock Psychic?
Rock Psychic. Yeah, I just thought it'd be funny because Lunatone does get Moonblast, I think, in some of the newer games. But I gave Solrock Moonblast instead.
And you gave Lunatone Solar Beam,
Yeah.
I noticed. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it just took in sunlight.
Yeah, I think Solar Beam is a little bit bugged in this version, though, so you might see some weird behavior.
Moonlight. Cool, great. Love when he has health. I'm supposed to be the stalling one, not you. Stop this.
It's true, you have Clefairy.
I'm supposed to be the one stalling to win. What are you doing? Stop this. Okay, he's gonna hit me with something. Some kind of solar beam. Oh, or he just didn't attack. Or maybe he used on protect.
Yeah, no, Solar Beam's bugged in this version, so
So it just
it
doesn't
just-
go off.
it keeps taking in sunlight forever.
Interesting.
Well,
Interesting.
now you don't need to worry about Lunatone.
Okay. Okay.
He's kind of locked.
I have I see what I must do. Awesome.
Win condition found.
Yeah, I broke a lot of stuff in the game, and so there's a lot of stuff that just got taken out.
How did
because-
that happen? I gotta ask, how the hell did you just like make it forever take in sunlight? Because that's really funny.
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest. No clue. I think especially because a lot of the changes is going in and changing the assembly code for the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more error prone than having actual code and a compiler that can tell you you've done something stupid. So a lot of unexpected stuff happens. Like the game was designed around Gen 3 mechanics, and so the more things you try to add in, the more you mess up other things.
Yeah, you just like break something at the base level somewhere completely unrelated.
Yep.
How do you usually go about fixing errors like that?
So I don't know how familiar you are with Dolphin's debug mode, but essentially you can run Dolphin in a way that kind of has extra windows in it. So you have the main game itself on the right, and then you have extra windows so you can see how the kind of emulator itself is functioning. And then you can stick in what's called a breakpoint. So you can say whenever the game gets to this line of code, freeze. And so it will freeze the game once it reaches that line of code, and you can inspect the different values in the memory and see what's going on. So it's really useful.
Okay, I've been using the admin client for VBA to do similar things. I haven't really gotten started
Yeah.
with that yet.
I want to turn Lunatone just taking in sunlight forever into a meme. Just, it's so funny to me. It's like he's like the he's like the he's like the Dragon Ball character that it's like in 6 hours you will be dead. He's just building up power.
Man, if he ever let that solar beam off, you would have been so dead. You probably had like 700 base power.
He's like, do I get a chance to heal now or no?
Yeah, I think you should be able to after this
Okay.
one. Wait, was this the first battle or the second
That
battle?
was the second one.
Yeah, so you can leave now.
I would just, yeah, no, I don't know how familiar you are with the Super Mario 64 stuff, like the parallel universes and stuff, but I'm just thinking of he's building up sunlight for 12 hours so he can keep you.
A solar beam is a solar beam. You can't say it's only half.
My God. Are you familiar at all outside of with Pokemon, like for Super Mario 64?
No, I don't think I quite understand the reference there.
Okay, all right. That's yeah. So same sort of thing. People basically breaking down Super Mario 64 to its absolute like bare minimum like code and screwing with it. It's a similar thing. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah,
All right. Time for
doing
the.
crazy things with that game.
Uh-huh.
I think that's another one. They recently decompiled it into like C code, and so they ported it onto Windows 10 or something. It's crazy.
Oh, you can't do that to the press? I don't know. Have you been in America lately? I'm not sure about that, Snaddle. Where is his hair? Is the hair the thing on his bottom of the head? That doesn't make sense, what I've said. But I've just now noticed when he turned around that the bottom of his hair is a completely different color from the top, and it kind of looks like he's wearing a helmet.
Yeah, they have some really outlandish designs in this game.
Oh, wait, do I have to do another 2 fights in a row? I'm dying out here. Come on, Barney. Thought we're friends. Spinaps, Ampharos, and hit. Why are you like this? Why have you done this to me, Stars? You've ruined me. Alright. No, this is good. I've got super effective moves, I think. Shadow. Please, is it Ampharos? Nice. You know what I want. Does it have Mold Breaker?
No, I don't think I added Mold Breaker.
No Mold Breaker? That makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
It's a really hard one to add into the game. I could do it, just it interacts with so many different things in different ways that you'd have to update.
What does regular Ampharos get? It might just be worse than what regular Ampharos gets ability-wise.
Yeah, static.
Static. Okay, well, maybe not. Oh, bye!
I might have given it something like Lightning Rod as an alternate ability in this as well.
Okay, cool. Well, at least Hitmontov's gone. Although I lost Skechers. Or no. Okay, alright. So, he's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. I got 2.
Dimitri, I feel like now might be a good time to tell you that I think you misspelled Skechers. I think the shoes don't have a T in the name.
Oh.
So
Are you
this
sure?
is just more than one person who sketches.
Are you sure? I'm gonna need a fact check on that, buddy. Alright. I cannot glare Ampharos. Don't do that. That's stupid.
Yeah, I'm correct. Skechers the brand has no T in it.
Well, Skechers the Pokemon does.
Yeah, it's a Smeargle now.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, is Smeargle in this?
Yeah.
I think I took it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just again one of those things that when you poke around the game too much, certain things break.
Fair enough. Okay, alright. This Clefairy is gonna carry me to victory once more. Super Fang. Uh-oh, Stone Edge, I might be dead.
Sure, if you add enough custom moves, at some point Smeargle just falls apart.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, so I think I reached a point that Sketch wasn't working. I might have purposely taken it out
That would also make sense.
Yeah, it's a move with a lot of code, and I was like, you know, one move versus 5 other moves that could use this space. So yeah, and if you sketch the wrong thing, then the game would probably crash anyway, just from weird, unexpected behaviors.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy that this game had so little extra space.
Yeah, I think especially when you're working with like 3D models, like most of the space in the game is just models.
Yeah.
And so they probably put a lot of work into getting the game to fit on a GameCube disc, because you only have like a limited physical space on a GameCube disc to work with.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was probably a lot of work for them to cut everything down to fit in the first place.
No! You mean a bad spot?
And that's why people make fun of Game Freak for making 700 different models for each Dynamax. Just think about what else that space could go towards.
That's a good point, yeah. So they literally need a separate model for the Dynamaxes.
Yeah, they did.
That makes no sense. Surely they could just add the clouds and use the regular model blown up.
That's what everyone else says.
I mean,
Yeah, like
that's what
I'm not an expert. Yeah, I'm not an expert, so I assume they have a reason, but yeah, it seems kind of silly to me.
I mean, I'm pretty sure other people did just upscale their models and like add the clouds and like shine it up a little bit, and it looked the same.
Yeah, it's really odd.
One day we're gonna see Sword Shield ROM hacks, and I'm actually excited for that day. I would be really interested in seeing what people make out of Sword Shield.
I don't care as long as they remove that one guy who brings a soul rock to max raid battles. That's all you need to do. Just remove him.
That's true. He is a pain in the butt.
I don't know anything about what's the guy who brings the soul? Like, what's
Like
the problem
Martin
there?
or something.
He just like sits there in cosmic powers, and then the max raid thing goes like, all of your stat changes have been reset, and then he just sits there and cries.
I'm doing it. I'm winning,
Wobbuffet-
Dad.
He's the Wobbuffet I've seen break a shield. That's more than the Soul Rock has ever done.
Oh, Venusaur. This could be problematic for me. Another. Oh no. Oh no.
There it is.
Why have you ruined me? My life is over.
Oh, a Shadow Pokemon. I guess we're hitting that part of the game pretty early, huh?
Oh no. Oh no. It's fine if it dies. It's not gonna die. There's no. Oh. Okay. Maybe. No. Man, it gets very, very eyes when it gets hit.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like that in like Stadium. As early as Stadium, Venusaur's always done that.
Yeah, they reused the stadium models for a lot of the Gen 1 and 2 Pokemon.
Oh yeah, they did. I actually remember that.
Yeah, so this would literally be the same model and animation from Stadium.
One of our friends plays a lot of Stadium, so I'd be
Really?
interested.
Who?
Yeah, Peanut.
He does?
Yeah, Peanut plays a lot of Stadium.
Does he? Okay, well, hang on. Does he play a lot of Stadium like he plays a lot of Emerald?
Oh, good point. I'm not sure, potentially. Recover, okay. I only have 4 Great Balls left, this is not ideal. Oh, I probably have to fight Snaddle right after this, don't I? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I don't remember.
I'm in bad shape.
I should have recovered if I didn't. Oh, or Ligatoni can just die. Stumpleton is pro or miss. Uh-oh.
Shit.
Yeah, by the way, I added an automatic heal after this fight.
Oh, okay. Alright,
Oh,
thanks. That's very nice to know. Heals all
The
status.
original game can be a little bit unforgiving in a few places.
Just gonna use this. Okay, what the fuck do I do with this Venusaur here? Oh, he's
Catch
got. Thank you. Yes, that was the goal. I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I could kill the Dawn fan, but he just has more Pokemon after that, so that won't help me too much. Nope. Okay, that makes sense. How are the catch rates on this? Like, are the catch rates of the base Pokemon, or did you change them around to match the point of the game that they're in?
So yeah, in Colosseum and XD, they actually added a feature where the devs can specifically choose the catch rate for each shadow Pokemon.
Okay.
And so yeah, I played around with that a bit, and all the catch rates are completely custom for the shadow Pokemon.
I see.
Just personally, I found that the catch mechanics of Pokemon games are the least compelling part of the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, so when it came around to kind of designing how hard they should be to catch, I ended up making a lot of them a little bit easier. So I don't want people just sitting around just spamming the A button, just waiting for RNG to you know, get on their side.
I mean, I'd argue for this, it's a little bit different because you have to do it in the middle of like battles of fighting other things that are killing you. So that's one thing about XD that is cool in that sense. But
it
it's
does
more interesting, but it still kind of sucks.
yeah, I mean, it makes the fights a lot harder because you can't just kill them.
Yeah. Especially when you play through more of the game, then you have trainers with multiple shadow Pokemon. It can get really, really tedious. And yeah, I really wish Game Freak would do something about the capture mechanics. And I was really excited for Let's Go when they were actually trying something a bit new, but I don't think they quite got the right thing. But I'm worried that because the fans didn't really like it as much, that they're not going to risk trying it again. Like trying something different, you know.
You mentioned since Shadow Pokemon are in Pokemon Go, and you mentioned that, do you play Pokemon Go?
Oh yeah, I love Pokemon.
Okay, I'm also a big Pokemon Go. How do you feel about we've already talked about what Game Freak's done. How do you feel about Niantic?
Oh.
Okay, cool.
Oh my gosh, Niantic, what is terrible. And again, it just shows how much potential Pokemon as an IP has, and as a brand, because even a developer that I don't want to badmouth Niantic, and I actually applied for a job there and they rejected me, so I don't even necessarily have a leg to stand on. But even Niantic historically haven't done the best job with managing the game, and it's still making so much money just because the brand is that strong.
I have some problems with how Niantic runs a game. But I don't know if you're familiar with the PR response they did for the riots happening in the Black Lives Matter movement in America, but they actually did like some really cool stuff. Like they donated a lot of money and they're creating a bunch of new programs for.
Yeah, I think they said all the profits from GoFest.
Yeah, all the profits from GoFest too. Yeah. No, it's very exciting, and my point was like, man, I sure do wish they made a game as well as they supported the BLM movement. That would be pretty chill.
They have that standard online game mentality of like, if it helps the players, it needs to be patched out immediately. But if it's a problem, it can wait till next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so annoying. But again, I'm addicted to the game, so.
Yeah, for sure. They keep bringing Lugia back to raids. Maybe we'll get Shadow Lugia at some point.
Oh, I'm hoping for it.
That would be so cool. Dude, I'd play the game again for that.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
Don't lie to me. You think I don't know you? You absolutely.
I'd at least go to one though.
Yeah, them bringing back Shadow Pokemon, I think is really good in terms of potentially getting like a Colosseum or XD remake or sequel.
Yeah, that's
future.
when I heard
at least the concept is still alive out there, which is really good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when they do that. Okay, Snaddle time. This might be bad for me. Porygon 2 and Slowking. Interesting lead. I can deal with that.
Please tell me it doesn't have an Eviolite.
Silence. He traced my huge power! Oh no.
This is a special attack.
Probably. He's probably Bolt Beam. Alright, okay. Which of these is a bigger threat? Unclear. He's got 6 Pokemon. I'm spooked. I'm very spooked. Okay. I don't know. If launch was
Porygon's not gonna die.
Yeah. Try attack. Okay, yeah, so huge power has done nothing for him. That makes sense. Our Chupacabra will still die. Not quite.
Yeah. Sneasel's special defense is surprisingly decent. Like it's not good, but it's okay. It's possible.
At least until someone uses Orre Spear.
Yeah.
Or even like vacuum wave.
45. What Pokemon get Vacuum Wave besides Lucario?
I know Krogan does.
Hitmonchan does.
So does Infernape.
Yeah.
That's probably it. Yep, bye-bye! That's fine, you did your job. You killed one Pokemon. That's more than I expected from you, frankly. My team is very poorly balanced on types.
Kartana. Okay. Didn't know that one.
Kartana gets Vacuum Wave? That's not very useful. Okay. No, I want to see what you're sending in first, bud. Come on. Okay. I want to see what he have.
Wait, the Porygon has huge power. Just swagger it.
That's a Alolan Marowak. Interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
I like it.
Huh.
Oh.
Ghostfire. Okay.
What?
you've been sitting here smug as fuck, dude. You've been sitting here smug as hell. Like, oh man, how about those Alolans? And you're just out here like, man, I'd probably add him as Shadow Pokemon, probably, if I were to do that. Sounds like a pretty cool idea.
That's hilarious.
Very good. I do regret bringing in Espeon.
Don't Will-O-Wisp it.
Yeah. I also don't like really having Skechers in here. That's also not great. Don't Super Fang it either.
You just brought something out that destroys everything you have.
I got Gooplet, it's fine.
Dude, you just got knowledge gapped so hard.
Oh, protect. I'm mad. Shadow Club. Okay, well. Nice. Nice dodge.
Ah, darn it.
Actually, if it's gonna use shadow moves, I'm in a bit of a pickle, or not.
I swear, this one has the Patro Berry like the next one. Or like the last one, doesn't it?
Maybe
that.
this one has the thick club.
Yes. Oh, Skechers lives. Defense fell. That's not so good. Does it have like unique moves?
Yes, I think Shadow Club is unique to Shadow Marowak.
Interesting. But like when you purify it, does it have like any moves that like it would get in Gen 7?
Shadowbone?
Yeah, Shadowbone. Thank you. I guess that's Shadow. Yeah.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but it does get Shadowburn at some point in time. I can't remember if it's as soon as you purify it or if it's later on.
I think in base game it's like the level it evolves into Marowak, it gets Shadowbone.
Nope. At least not in Sun Moon. I don't know if they've changed it since.
Okay.
I tried to use Alolan Marowak in Sun Moon, and it doesn't get any Ghost or Fire Stab for a long time.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
really upsetting. I think it gets Flame Charge like a couple levels after it evolves, but other than that, no, it's Flame Wheel. But other than that, you have to rely on TM or just getting really high level.
Is that it for Gooplet? No, okay, you're taking Eccles, okay. Okay. Aw, paralyzed, great. My favorite. Alright.
That's fine, you still have Prankster.
Yes. Yes. You're right. Okay, so I'm assuming he's got another Shadow. So I'm not sure I want to be using the Great Balls. In fact,
What
maybe
are
I
you talking
should.
about? You gotta get the cool, unique Alolan Marowak.
Yeah. I'm saying, but since he has another one, I'm not sure I want to use. I should probably use a Pokeball since I have it pretty low.
Yeah, his
rather
next
than-
Shadow Pokemon is just gonna be Alolan Executor.
I'm gonna be so. And then he sends out Joltik, and we've been fooled the whole time. Gen 5 was already here.
Yeah, you have to understand that you've planted the seeds of distrust.
We're on
Now
to
we're
you.
going to be expecting mega evolutions by the end.
we just get to Gorrigan. Get to Gorrigan. It's like Mega Steelix with body press.
Please no. Man, that Porygon probably has like 800 attack, huh?
Yay! It killed itself. Luck is on my side twice. I've been so lucky. He keeps missing Shadow Bone.
I can't believe you're hacking the NPC. What
I'm
is wrong
hacking
with
the
you?
NPC, dude. Piloswine? Okay, that's not Shadow. We know that one for a fact. Alright.
What, you don't want 2 Piloswines?
I do not want 2 Piloswines. It's true. Alright.
Just take out
That
Corphish and a
Piloswine
second
has a Passion
Piloswine.
Berry.
Just a passion berry.
Everything is a Passion Berry except for that Marowak.
Can we get like Pokemon just Pasho, Pokemon XD Pasho Berry version where it's just all
I want
Pasho
it.
berries?
I'm on it, it's all yours.
All right. Just water moves are not allowed. You motherfucker!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I can't
Yeah,
believe
man.
you. I can't believe you've done this. I can't believe you've done this.
Do you even use the other weakness berries, or is Passion Berry the only one? We saw
mean-
the berry. We saw the Shadow Berry.
They're all in there. It's your fault for using Aqua Jet all the time, isn't it?
It's hilarious, though.
Blinks with the call. Oh my god. I was pretty choice. Actually, someone remind me, if I use Hyper Voice and it goes through the Marowak, does it do the full damage to Piloswine or does it do reduced still?
I think it does full. I'm not sure. I mean,
Okay.
extra sensory does more damage.
Yeah.
Anyway. Lazadin says it's reduced.
I'm gonna get this Marowak, and then I'm gonna lose, and then I'm gonna fight him again, and he's not gonna have that Marowak, and it's gonna be great.
Actually, in XD, you don't get to keep it if you lose a battle.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that
why
was
it goes to the
the
little
thing
thing
in
above
Tokyo.
that says snagged.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, I got
It's a thing in
Marowak.
Coliseum, but not in XD. A lot of people get really excited about that and come back in and like, oh, whoops. And you don't even get all the Pokeballs you use back.
Yeah, of course not.
Yes, Piloswine's flinched. I'm haxing the hell out of your Snaddle. This is what you get. This is what you get for lying to me. Snow warning!
Yeah, I'm hoping you're still going to lose this one. Like, you're not in the clear quite yet.
No, if I lose this one, I completely deserve it.
He had an incognito hail team the whole time.
Yeah, a Hail Team with Alolan Marowak. This is some wild.
Hey
type
guys,
coverage.
hard predict his next Pokemon is Alolan Ninetales and it has Aurora Veil.
I hope not.
I'm hard predicting this. I'm hard predicting this right now, and I hope it doesn't have Snow Warning, and I can just make the Celio stick around for 5 turns.
This is, or no, I guess that is correct.
Uh,
I don't know. This isn't perma weather, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, yeah, Gen 3 perma weather. Oh wait, no, not quite.
I don't know who I attacked there. Oh, Celio, okay. This shows how much attention I'm... Okay, I can do it. I'm gonna win on the first try through hacks. It's not... Oh, Icicle Spear. Uh-oh. Bye! Hit 1 times. Sure did. Sure did hit 1 times. Blizzard! Why are you like this?
Yeah, he's never gonna miss.
Man, all the things. I feel so destroyed because we were just talking earlier about how Tail will never be viable, and then who knew there was just going to be a Hail Team to destroy me? You did. You knew.
I
I
mean,
did.
Hail still isn't viable.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just that's true. Very good point.
You've got Auroraville, which is decent, and the Slush Rush as well, but I don't know, it never seems to do very well.
I wish there were good Pokemon that got Slash Rush.
Dude, we've got Alolan Sandslash, who has like base 50 speed.
And is 4x weak to everything in the universe.
Yeah, wait, does Alolan Sandslash only has 2 4x weaknesses, right?
Yeah,
And
but
not
they're
3?
fire and fighting.
Those are not
yeah,
great
I
ones to
know what
have.
they are. I was just like, is it also weak to steel or rock or something? No, it's not.
Oh, he ate a berry.
Oofa. Well, that's expected. I
Yeah,
have
this is
no
a
Pokemon
good day.
left.
Yeah, you didn't deserve that one, honestly.
That Piloswine was really oddly fast.
Oh, he has Aurora Veil too. Cool. Alright, maybe the Ninetales thing is wrong then. But maybe not. We've had our proof in the pudding already. I have Skechers, and that's it. I'm in a bad position. I should have bought some
Oh wait,
items.
this isn't the one with Sucker Punch. That's the dead one.
I think it's any game. I think it's pretty much in your favor, Dimitri. Don't worry.
Oh yeah? Is that how you
Got
feeling?
this in the bag.
Alright, cool.
Simpleton can definitely 1v3 with its base 65 special attack. What's Clefairy got?
Clefairy's got like +2 defense or something. You know, a battle's kind of weird when Mawil's the fastest thing on the field.
Something
Why
gonna kill
Why did you not attack the Piloswine?
Because I want to. Because I know his next Pokemon's a Shadow, and so I just need to be as buffed up as possible before it comes in.
Okay.
Although now I'm realizing my only attack.
Now you can just Dazzling Gleam and pick up a double kill.
So yeah, I missed it. Is Hail Perm?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
no, it isn't.
Okay, so I need to stall it out. Basically, is what I'm hearing. 1, 2.
I mean, get up your Trick Room.
Oh yeah, I would be fast in that. Uh-oh, right. You got Blizzard. I need to revive something, probably. Oh, Clefairy might just die, though. Clefairy will probably just die, though.
I mean, he's got a lot of chances to crit you.
Yes, he sure do.
Because he's got Icicle Spear.
That's very accurate. If I double kill Healer, I can just revive on the next turn. This is... Although he could just kill me. I'm in danger.
Yeah, I mean, you go last.
No, I'll go before Celio.
Yeah, that's not the issue. Celio's not the issue.
I'm living.
Oh, he's stomping tantrumed. The AI choked. He didn't
Now-
go for the one that could crit like 7 times.
This one's out of here. Okay, I need a revive on the next turn. Although I don't have any good healing items. I cannot imagine Nuzlocking regular XD, let alone this.
XD is like not easy.
The hail stopped. In comes another hail setter. Ninetales. Oh, yeah, okay, there it is. Color me surprised.
Nice read.
As soon as when the Alolan Marowak came out and then Hail came up, I'm like, okay. Oh, I just lose. Oh no, I don't lose. He only has one more Pokemon left. This is doable.
It's not the end of the turn. You don't get hit.
This is doable. Do I just throw a Great Ball right now and win? That's how it
Oh
works.
my gosh. I mean, to be fair, if you don't, he's probably gonna Blizzard.
Oh yeah, Blizzard hits both, don't it?
I mean, Mawile won't die.
Even if it's only half. Do I have any good item to heal?
I don't know. You probably. I don't know, man. Do you want to call if this thing has freeze dry or not? Oh, right, no, it's a shadow. It doesn't matter. Never mind.
Antidote, Draco Plate, Revive, Quick Claw. Okay, I have a Super Potion. That's not bad.
It's a shadow. I forget this isn't just a normal Pokemon.
Yeah. Shadow Chill. Dude, I'm not chill about this Ninetales. Okay, alright, that did some damage. Reflect wore off. There's light screen though. Also, oh, like I like how the camera just reset and did the same thing. Oh, and the hail continues to fall.
Yeah, you ever just want the same camera angle 3 times?
I do actually. What if I just killed Alolan Ninetales? Y'all ever think about that?
I mean, it's pretty specially defensive.
Right, but I got Metal Claw.
Yeah, it is 4x weak.
What if I just murder it? Hey, please don't attack. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay.
I mean, I think he had to target Clefairy.
Oh, probably, because Mawile
Actually,
wasn't
I have
online.
no idea how that works, because that's it's purely an in-game thing.
Okay, Metal Claw, alright. And then, Stumpleton, you need to heal with something. I don't know what. I guess potions.
You just have regular potions.
This is what I love about Pokemon. I like to see moments like
I'm
this.
winning because I'm lucky!
Come on.
So, remember, Stars, when you said you'd be impressed if I won this on my first time? Don't worry, don't worry, you don't have to be impressed. This was not based on my skill whatsoever.
Yeah, it was good. It was well played. It was well played.
Was it, though?
Yes, there's skill and luck. Also, they say.
I don't know about that, but damn, that was... The stars aligned for me there with all those misses.
Yeah.
I've done it. I'm the god. I'm the luck god. You're just like silent. You're just clenching your teeth right now. It's like I totally had that one.
There'll be a rematch for Snassel later.
I'm sure.
He'll get you the next time for sure.
I'm sure he will. I did not deserve that win. The elevator key. The heck is that for? I've been paying attention to nothing.
Let's go in the elevator.
You see me in the elevator. TM41. Do TMs in this game, like, do they last after you use them, or are they one use?
I think they're infinite, right?
Yeah, they're infinite in this.
They're infinite. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Max revive. I need items. Yeah, no, Snattle's gonna get me on the next one. Don't you worry. But this time, I am the victor due to Clefairy being dumb.
Yeah, he's gonna bring his new Hail team with Alolan Sandslash.
God. That was...
Still warning Articuno. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
You know, they probably do have legendaries on the rematches. You're probably right, Blinks. So...
Maybe.
Wasn't it that way in the original?
In the base game, Greevil had all the birds.
Yeah, Greevil had the birds, yeah. Did the Ninetales go to Mirror B, or does Snaddle still have it?
It will be with Mirror B.
Oh, really? You didn't get the people out of the elevator yet.
Where's the elevator?
In the pre-gym.
Oh. I'm gonna heal. Gotta heal for... This is not the
Do you-
house for healing.
Do you ever find someone playing your hack, but they're playing
Wrong.
the wrong version of it, right? Like they're playing an older update that you haven't posted in 10 years, or well, probably not 10 years. But like, what if you found someone playing XG, but they were playing the version where you still got the shiny Beldum? Have you ever encountered that?
Yeah, I've seen that a bit. I think just because now I haven't updated the game in like at least a year and a half, maybe even up to 2 years. So most people discovering it now would probably just be seeing the latest version.
Yeah.
But when I was updating more regularly, there were a lot of cases of people playing a slightly older version, and it was a little frustrating because maybe there'll be a little bug or something that just wasn't as good. It's like, it's been fixed now. I wish you got to play the newer version and got to see all the nice changes I've made. But it has reached a point now that's quite stable. I think one of my last updates, I did have a big focus on fixing bugs, at the very least, like the kind of game-breaking bugs. Because I realized once I started my new job, I probably wouldn't have as much time to work on the game. So I didn't want it in a state where there were lots of complaints still.
Lasden's gonna be playing this ROM hack now, so I'm glad I got someone else to play it.
Yeah, happy to hear that.
Who are you? How did you get here? Oh, you just randomly beat Snaddle by accident? That's fine. I'm sure Stars is totally okay with that.
Okay, I gotta add. So I wasn't paying attention. Did the Alolan Ninetales have snow warning?
Yes.
Yeah,
It did? Okay, and I'm assuming it had Aurora Veil too.
yeah. Although Shadow Pokemon can't use non-Shadow moves until you've caught them.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the NPCs will never use them. In Colosseum they do, but in NeXt they'll only use Shadow moves.
I see. Dude, Jesse got my PDA number. Great. I'm gonna give him a public display of affection. I'm gonna give him a little hug. Is it the desert? Is this the... Is that the ship?
Isn't most of the region a desert?
Yeah. Is it the ship? This next, where they take my snag machine?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay. I'm just wondering what Justy just told me about. Justy told me about. Man. I totally did not deserve that. You know, you have this, you are in the very unique opportunity of being here right now to yell at me. So please be my guest. Please tell me how little I deserved that win. I am perfectly fine with that. What TMs did I even get? Shadow Monitor.
We'll get you eventually. I'm pretty confident.
Oh, absolutely. I have no doubt. Okay, I'm missing Puchiana, and I'm missing Alolan. I only got the 2 that I'm missing now. Look at me go. I'm so great at Pokemon games. Y'all never seen anybody this good.
No, never.
Not a single
Never,
time.
ever.
I'm the
Never
best.
at this level of good, you know? Generally a couple steps higher.
I got to buy things. I have some money. Give me... Oh, Ultra Balls. Interesting. What's the... I wanted to ask, what's the post-game like for both XD and this? Like, how has it changed?
Yeah, so original XD, the post game is pretty non-existent, unfortunately.
Uh-huh.
And I do have a lot of plans for the post game in XG, but hasn't been implemented so much yet.
Uh-huh.
But there's a lot of stuff being planned for that.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. How's the have you done any work on the Mount Battle? Because like I Mount Battle is something I love doing in this game the first time.
Yeah, so I think you would have had a little bit of Mount Battle during the story, and so you may have noticed that the areas have type themes now.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, so it's set up so the first 5 zones have ghost types, then the next 5 zones have like fighting types or something like that. So each 5 zones, the type changes.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it just makes it just a little bit more engaging. It's still quite a slug to get through, but it's a bit more interesting just having some kind of theme.
Yeah.
And being able to
And it
form
gives
some
you a
kind
good
of
place to train certain Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Then I also changed it so you can do any area you want from the beginning.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so you don't have to feel like, oh, I've got to do the weaker areas just so I can get to the one where I can actually get some good experience.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I mean that was from the original playthrough I did. That was one of my favorite things because I'm huge on grinding and just that makes it.
Yeah, then it's perfect for you.
It's perfect for me. I will not be doing that here so that I can instead show off my amazing skills. So I'm not going to be doing that in this playthrough, but it's just good to know because even
I really loved it when I was younger and I was playing through the game the first time. Like, oh, it was so much fun just going through it.
yeah, back when we had time to like do anything.
Yeah.
Times have changed. I thought that was a Carablast, but it's not. It's Pelipper.
Back when you could sit there and grind 700 Pokemon battles. Dude, it's Pelipper.
Pokemon Laughing Wind of Ethiopia. What?
Dude, Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness.
Oh, okay. Pain Split. This ROM hack seems like it's utterly impossible to beat with a single Pokemon challenge. I mean, it is all doubles. So that,
Wait.
yeah.
Pain Split.
Pain Split.
On Pelipper?
On Pelipper, dude.
That's not real.
No? Maybe it has it now. All right. You ever think about that?
Does indeed not learn pain split in any capacity.
Even after the series is done, I continue to keep playing this ROM hack because it's very good. Thank you for making a good ROM hack. I don't know if I've said that yet, but thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I
appreciate
love
that.
XD, and this is like just a pure upgrade in every sense of the word. It's so awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad. I know for a lot of people, they really have fond memories of XD. But it can be a bit hard to go back to, especially with the lack of the physical special split.
That's a huge thing, yeah.
And stuff like that. So yeah, it's just nice that people feel more comfortable going back to the game with the more modern mechanics. And there's a lot of like really weird stuff in the game as well. Just I think game design just wasn't quite as good back then. I don't know if when you did your blind playthrough, did you get stuck at that bit at the beginning of the game where you need to find Professor Crane, but he's not in his office?
I don't remember. It has been
Probably.
a while. Probably, yeah. I don't know if you could tell from today, but I'm not like the brightest shed in the coal. I kind of make my way through life, not really paying attention to the Professor Cranes and the Alolan Marowaks.
No, like everyone gets stuck. So essentially, after you get Jovi from Kaminko's manor, and you get back, so you meet your mum outside, and she says, "Oh, Professor Crane's looking for you. Go find him." If you go into his lab or into his office in the lab where he normally is, he's not there. Instead, there's a random NPC who you've seen before, you've probably spoken to before if you're the kind of person who presses A on everyone, and he's completely meaningless to the story. And he's in the lab instead. And when you talk to him, he says, "Oh, by the way, Professor Crane just went downstairs. You just missed him."
Okay.
But talking to that NPC is what triggers that event. So if you don't talk to him, then Professor Crane won't be downstairs.
He's not downstairs.
Yeah.
That's
and
fun.
so it's really terrible game design because the whole time you've been playing the game, Professor Crane was always in one spot. He's now not in that spot, and the only way to get him to show up anywhere is to talk to an inconsequential character in that room. And the worst thing is, even when people do finally just out of frustration start clicking A on everything and accidentally trigger the event, they have no idea.
They have no idea that something has changed downstairs.
Yeah. So you can come back to play the game again, and you still haven't at least gained that information. And so it's just really bad game design. I don't think anyone would really make a game like that in this day and age. And so I made sure to take that out as soon as I was able to.
I see.
So in XG, as soon as you go downstairs, he's there.
I wanted to...
Little things like that are just really weird and just make the game unnecessarily complicated.
Sure. I wanted to ask one last thing. I wanted to ask about Battle Bingo. Did you edit Battle Bingo at all? Because I remember that being one of my favorite things from my original playthrough.
Yeah, I did actually. Fortunately, Battle Bingo is a lot easier to do. Yeah. I kind of went with the kind of Game Freak logic of just put a bunch of stuff in and, things will work out.
So Battle Bingo is updated?
Yep.
Okay, that is exciting for me.
It's a little more challenging than in the original though, so watch out for that. But
don't worry, I screwed up the original one too, so it's going to be really good. Oh, I'm very hyped now that you've said that. I think though we have now been going for 3 hours. It is probably very early in the morning for you, is it not?
Yeah, so 1 a.m. on my end.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe we cut it here. Thank you so much for stopping by and answering our questions. We'd love to have you on again sometime. I'm definitely going to keep playing this game. This is really awesome. Thank you for making it, and thank you for everything. And I don't know.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been super fun. It's super cool to really get into sort of your headspace for you creating this, especially since you've never really done this before. So like, there's nowhere really to go online to hear your thoughts about this other than like Project Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's very cool to sort of hear what you have to say. You guys have anything else? Hamster, David, thanks. Anybody?
Not really.
No.
Awesome game.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, for sure.
David.
Yeah, I think everyone's super happy with it. So we'll see you all next time. Big shout out to Stars for being an awesome developer, and we're looking forward to seeing more XG. Any final words?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has any questions, my Discord is advertised somewhere on Project Pokemon, I think, or if you can find me on Twitter. I don't really tweet much, so there's not much to follow, but I'm always
You're
happy to answer.
currently sitting in my server, so if anybody right now wants to grab your
Yeah,
name, they
that's
could
true.
do that from
Yeah.
there. So yeah. All right. We'll catch y'all next time. We'll be coming back to this soon. Hopefully, very soon. There's going to be a shorter break from episode 2 to episode 3 because I was like thinking, Hamster will agree with me on this. Ever since we played part 2, I've been thinking, man, I really want to go to back to XG, but we got all these other things that we're doing right now. We got to do those. And he's like, yeah, but we should go back to XG. And then it's just like one day we're just sitting in call, and I'm like, oh wait, hold on, the guy who made the hack just commented on the video. Oh my god, we have to play it now. And that was really awesome. Alrighty. Well, bye-bye, folks.
Take care.
See ya.